Chapter 146. No, no, you can't joke about this. It's very disrespectful to my teacher. James said seriously, Dr. Qin is indeed my teacher. I really want to learn traditional Chinese medicine from him, and my teacher hasn't fully agreed yet. I'm just a nominal disciple now. Oh my God. The host slapped his forehead, trying to ease the shock. A famous expert of the World Medical Association wanted to be a teacher of a college student in his 20s, and Qin Haodong didn't quite agree. He only accepted a nominal disciple, which was beyond his understanding. After calming down, he asked again, Dr. James, you'd better tell us about Mr. Maldini's condition. Is it possible that the tumor in his brain is misdiagnosed, or it doesn't exist at all? James said, the tumor in Mr. Maldini's head has been examined by our medical association 3 times. There is absolutely no misdiagnosis. The tumor often gives him headaches, which makes him very uncomfortable. The host asked incredulously, do you mean that the tumor in Mr. Maldini's head was really cured by acupuncture and cupping? Of course. I was there when my teacher treated Mr. Maldini. I have to say that my teacher's medical skills are really amazing. I feel that there is no disease in the world that he can't cure. I'm very proud to be his student. The host asked him again, then can you tell us how Dr. Qin treated the tumor with acupuncture and cupping? James spread out his hands and said helplessly, I'm sorry, I'm just a nominal student of my teacher. Because my Chinese is not good enough, I haven't been able to learn medical skills from my teacher, so I don't know much about the treatment of traditional Chinese medicine. But an expert of traditional Chinese medicine from Jiangnan is also here today. You can ask him if you have any questions. Soon, the camera switched, and Gao Fengwen appeared on the big screen. The old man was wearing a long robe. Although his eyebrows and beard were long, he looked hale and hearty, full of the style of an old traditional Chinese medicine practitioner. Qin Haodong was secretly amused. Old Maldini had done a good job. First, the patient spoke, then James showed his identity as an expert of the World Medical Association. Finally, he let Gao Fengwen appear. This kind of blossoming method would undoubtedly cause the greatest sensation. However, old Maldini had many professionals working for him, and he had been dealing with the news media all year round, so it was not surprising that he could come up with this plan. After Gao Fengwen introduced himself, the host asked, Dr. Gao, I want to ask, were you there when Dr. Qin used acupuncture and cupping to treat the head tumor? Gao Fengwen nodded and said, I watched the whole process. Dr. Qin's medical skills are really good, beyond the imagination of ordinary people. I can't catch up with his little finger even if I study for another 100 years. The host asked, Dr. Gao, I've heard that the older a Chinese doctor is, the more experienced he is, and the better his medical skills are. Most people prefer to see an older doctor. Dr. Qin is only in his 20s. How could he have such good medical skills? Gao Fengwen sighed and said, you said that under normal circumstances, but Dr. Qin is definitely not an ordinary person. His medical skills can only be described as magical. In terms of traditional Chinese medicine, I've never admired anyone in my life, but I'm absolutely convinced by Dr. Qin. It's rare for you to give such a high evaluation to Dr. Qin. Just now Dr. James said that Dr. Qin used acupuncture and cupping to cure Mr. Maldini's tumor. Is that true? If so, is it possible for this method to be popularized and benefit people all over the world? Gao Fengwen said, Dr. James is right. That's true. But there are many acupuncture and cupping methods in traditional Chinese medicine, which are not as simple as you think. The method used by Dr. Qin is too difficult for others to learn. Because of this, we now call him the medical sage. Medical sage? What does that mean? The host asked in surprise. Gao Fengwen said solemnly, medical sage is the sage of medicine. Dr. Qin's medical skills absolutely deserve this title. Seeing this, Qin Haodong felt that there was no need to watch anymore. He raised his hand and turned off the electronic screen. Then he turned back to Li Yuanyuan and asked, "How about it? Can these prove my medical skills?" All the people present were in awe, including Lin Pingchao, who had been shocked by the video. No one had expected that Qin Haodong had such great skills. He cured the world financial giant old Maldini in more than 10 minutes, was respected by the experts of the World Medical Association as a teacher, and was called the medical sage by the traditional Chinese medicine circle in Jiangnan City. Any one of them was an achievement that ordinary people could not imagine. Li Yuanyuan opened her mouth wide, but she could not say anything. Why did it sound like a joke that she was accusing such a magical doctor of illegal medical practice? Not only her, but also Zhang Yong, the deputy director of the police station, was shocked. Lin Pingchao asked him to arrest the medical sage for the crime of illegal medical practice. Why did it feel like a trap? Lin Pingchao's face was livid with anger. He had wanted to use this opportunity to suppress Lin Momo through the reporter's questions, but he did not expect that it became Qin Haodong's personal achievement promotion. If he had known this, he would have asked Zhang Yong to arrest him as soon as he entered the door. At this time, Zhao Zhongchen stood up and shouted, "No, not to mention that he cured old Maldini, even if he cured the president of M country, he does not have a medical qualification certificate. Without a medical qualification certificate, treating people is illegal medical practice." After that, he turned to Zhang Yong and shouted, "Comrade police, he is illegal medical practice. Take him away quickly." Lin Momo's heart sank. Lin Momo's heart sank. Indeed, as Zhao Zhongchen said, no matter how good Qin Haodong's medical skills were, no matter how many people he had cured, and no matter how difficult the disease was, he was still practicing medicine illegally in the legal sense if he did not have a medical qualification certificate. Zhao Zhongchen shouted to Qin Haodong proudly, "Boy, you'll be in prison and have a prison meal." As soon as his voice fell, suddenly a red light flashed in front of him. With a bang, a small red book slapped heavily on his face. The old man's face was red and swollen. When he was about to get angry, he heard Qin Haodong said, "Who told you that I don't have a medical qualification certificate? Look at what this is." Zhao Zhongchen was shocked. He looked down and picked up the small book. He saw 6 big words written on it, "Medical Qualification Certificate." He opened the book and saw Qin Haodong's name. How could it be? How could it be? You obviously don't have a medical qualification certificate. Zhao Zhongchen was still holding the inquiry result that Lin Pingchao gave him. He was convinced that Qin Haodong did not have a medical qualification certificate. Fake, this must be a fake certificate. Zhao Zhongchen turned to Zhang Yong and shouted, "Comrade police, this boy used a fake certificate in public, and he is guilty." Zhang Yong took the certificate in his hand and looked at it. The handwriting was clear, the workmanship was perfect, and it was stamped with the seal of the Jiangnan Sanitary Bureau. It did not look fake. Zhao Zhongchen held the inquiry result in his hand and said, "I have checked it. Qin Haodong does not have a medical qualification certificate at all. His certificate must be fake." Qin Haodong said lightly, "This certificate was issued to me by Pan Gaofeng, the director of the Sanitary Bureau." "How dare you say it is a fake certificate?" Zhao Zhongchen cried, "It's impossible. Is the director of the Sanitary Bureau kicked in the head by a donkey? Would he issue a certificate to a student who has not graduated? Who said my head was kicked by a donkey?" At this time, a voice came from the door. Everyone turned to look at the door and saw Pen Gaofeng, the director of the Sanitary Bureau, coming in with 2 staff members. Pan Gaofeng strode to Zhao Zhongchen, looked at him sharply and said, "Qin Haodong's medical qualification certificate was issued by me. What, do you have a problem with it?" I. Zhao Zhongchen was choked and blushed, but he could not say a word. It was the Sanitary Bureau's business to issue a medical qualification certificate, and it had nothing to do with him. Moreover, he was just a shareholder, and his status could not be compared with the director of the Sanitary Bureau. Pan Gaofeng ignored him and strode to Lin Momo. He said politely, President Lin, can I use your conference room? Everyone could see that Pan Gaofeng was here to help Qin Haodong. Lin Momo naturally would not refuse and said, of course. Qin Haodong did not expect that Pan Gaofeng would suddenly come to the board meeting. He asked, Director Pan, why are you here? I just went to Daddy's security company. You were not there, and I couldn't get through to you on the phone. The security company said that you worked in Lin's group, so I came directly here. What's the matter? Qin Haodong asked. Of course, it's a good thing. After Pan Gaofeng finished speaking, he turned to several reporters and said, since all the reporters are here, I don't have to look for you later. Today, I'm going to use the conference room of Lin's group to announce a major news about our health system. Some of you may have seen it from the news media. Just yesterday, Dr. Qin cured the brain tumor of the financial giant Maldini of M country, which caused a major international response. He won glory for our country, for traditional Chinese medicine, and for Jiangnan City. At this point, no one knew who took the lead in applauding. At first, there were only 1 or 2 claps, and then more and more people applauded. Finally, even Zhang Yong and the reporters applauded, leaving only Zhao Zhongchen and Lin Zhigao sitting there awkwardly. After all, everyone had just seen the news. Qin Haodong's achievements made everyone in Wuxia very excited. After the applause faded, Pan Gaofeng continued, the Ministry of Health of Wuxia has given a high recognition for Dr. Qin's achievements. They specially entrusted me to confer the title of National Master of Chinese Medicine on Qin Haodong, and give him a reward of 100,000 yuan. After that, Pan Gaofeng took out a big red certificate from the hands of the staff next to him. He opened it and showed it to the audience. The words, National Master of Chinese Medicine, were written on it. This time, the audience was boiling, and people in the venue began to whisper to each other. Oh my God, he won the title of National Master of Chinese Medicine at such a young age. He may be the youngest National Master of Chinese Medicine in Wuxia. Dr. Qin is really great. He has won glory for our country, it's really good. It's our blessing that Dr. Qin can work as a healthcare doctor in our Lin's group. At the same time, the cameras in the hands of the reporters were aimed at the certificate in Pan Gaofeng's hand, and the flashes were flashing. Chapter 147. Things had changed from what Lin Pingchao had expected. Li Yuanyuan, the reporter, could do nothing in the face of this situation, even though she had been bribed by Lin Pingchao. She had been bribed by Lin Pingchao, but other reporters had not. This matter must be reported fairly and truthfully. Zhang Yong was the most embarrassed one. He had come to arrest Qin Haodong, but now it seemed that it was impossible. He had to go to Lin Momo and said, President Lin, I'm sorry. This is a misunderstanding. We'll go back now. Then he turned around and was about to leave. Lin Momo said coldly, wait a minute. Zhang Yong asked, President Lin, is there anything else? Lin Momo said with a sullen face, this is the meeting place of the board of directors of Lin's group. We were having a meeting. You came and went as you pleased, which seriously disturbed the order of our meeting. I'll definitely complain to your bureau leader about this. Speaking of this, Lin Momo said to the reporters on the scene, as you can see, Qin Haodong is a very excellent doctor, or he would not have been awarded the title of National Master of Chinese Medicine by the Ministry of Health of Wuxia. But such a person, the police came to arrest him for illegal medical practice, and then wanted to say that it was a misunderstanding. Do you think it's fair? Lin Pingchao's face became more and more sullen. Now Lin Momo began to fight back. Zhang Yong's forehead was dripping with cold sweat. He knew the power of Lin's group. If Lin Momo really went to the municipal bureau, he might lose his job as the deputy director. President Lin, I'm really sorry. This is really a misunderstanding. You see, I also received the report. As a policeman, we can't just ignore it, right? Lin Momo looked at him coldly, and then glanced at Zhao Zhongchen next to him. She said, Director Zhang, I understand what you said. As a policeman, we serve the people. It's true that we should go to the police station when we receive the report. But if someone makes a false report, should he also be punished by law? That's true. Although Zhang Yong had colluded with Lin Pingchao in private, he had to do business under such great pressure in the face of so many reporters' cameras, the president of Lin's group, and the director of the sanitary bureau. He waved to the policeman behind him, pointed to Zhao Zhongchen and said, "This man is suspected of making false police reports and framing others. Take him back to the police station." When Zhao Zhongchen saw that the police wanted to arrest him, he immediately became anxious and shouted, "You can't arrest me. I have evidence. I have the results of the investigation here." Zhang Yong ignored his words. The director of the health bureau had come out to prove it, and the medical qualification certificate was right there. Who knew where Zhang Yong got the fake certificate? The young policeman put handcuffs on Zhao Zhongchen and then took him away from the venue under the flashing lights of many reporters. Looking at Zhao Zhongchen's dirty face, Lin Zhigao secretly rejoiced in his heart. Fortunately, his son was clever and asked him to find Zhao Zhongchen to be a pawn. Otherwise, it would be him who was taken away now. Lin Pingchao's mood became more and more heavy. Everyone in Lin's group knew that Zhao Zhongchen worked for him and his son. Now he was arrested by the police, which would severely damage their prestige in the group. The police left. Han Gaofeng finished his work and also left Lin's group. However, many reporters did not leave, but surrounded Qin Haodong and Lin Momo in the middle. A young female reporter said to Qin Haodong, "Dr. Qin, congratulations on winning the title of National Master of Chinese Medicine. This is your honor and the honor of our whole Jiangnan city. May I ask you a few questions?" Qin Haodong said with a smile, "Of course. Dr. Qin, how much is your monthly salary in Lin's group?" Qin Haodong said with a smile, "This question is a bit private, but I'd like to tell you that President Lin said she would give me 10,000 yuan a month, but I haven't seen the shadow of the salary yet. Dr. Qin, with your medical skills, you can now at least reach 100,000 yuan a month, or even more. Have you ever thought about leaving Lin's group, going to a department with a higher salary, or opening your own clinic?" "Well, I haven't thought about it, at least not now," Qin Haodong said with a smile. "Dr. Qin, can you tell me the reason?" Qin Haodong said without hesitation, "Because she is my woman." Then he turned his head and looked at Lin Momo next to him. The love in his eyes was clear. The reporters immediately raised their cameras and video cameras and aimed at the two of them, snapping away. Unexpectedly, Qin Haodong publicly said that she was his woman. Lin Momo suddenly blushed. "President Lin, can you tell me the story of you and Dr. Qin? I want to write a feature report." "President Lin, how did you and Dr. Qin fall in love?" Several reporters began to ask questions. Lin Momo calmed down and said to them, "Everyone, I'm sorry, the board meeting of Lin's group is still in progress. We can't accept any more interviews at the moment." Although the reporters present still had some regrets, the information obtained in Lin's group today was enough for them to break the news. They all left the conference room with satisfaction. After they left, Lin Momo asked the security guard to close the door of the conference room, and then her face quickly became cold. She said to the head of security who was responsible for maintaining the order of the conference room with a sullen face, "Our group is holding a board meeting. Now the reporters and the police are here. Give me an explanation. Why can these people be unimpeded? Is the conference room of Lin's group a vegetable market?" Not only were they beautiful, but they were also wearing high-slit silk cheongsam. Their long white legs were faintly visible, which made people have infinite imagination. "Momo, you finally have time to see me." Shortly after they entered the door, a beautiful woman in a low-necked tight white shirt greeted them. She first gave Lin Momo a big hug, and then enthusiastically took her arm. Qin Haodong glanced at the woman and then looked at Lin Momo. He felt as if he was being shown by two suns at the same time. The woman was very tasteful. The sleeves of her shirt were rolled up to the elbow, revealing her white and smooth forearms, which made her look quite capable. The top two buttons of the shirt collar were not buttoned, which faintly showed the bottomless ravine and a little snow-white hillside. Judging from the curve of the hillside, how majestic the two peaks were could be seen, and people could not help but have a desire to conquer them. It was said that men should have a broad mind, and the same was true for women. Women with such a mind were great temptations out of thin air. It was not that Chin Haodong was staring at the woman's chest, but when she talked to Lin Momo, she was too enthusiastic. She kept adding body language, which made her chest jump constantly. Such a large-scale shaking would really bring people the feeling of waves, and it was impossible not to notice it. Moreover, Chin Haodong found that the woman was wearing a vacuum. There was no underwear inside, only two chest stickers to prevent exposure. At this time, the woman seemed to see Chin Haodong. She pulled Lin Momo and asked, "Momo, who is this? Don't tell me you found your true love." Lin Momo nodded shyly and said, "Let me introduce you. This is my boyfriend, Chin Haodong. This is my college classmate and best friend, Che Xiaoxiao." "Momo, do you really have a boyfriend? If you didn't already have Tang Tang, I would really doubt your sexual orientation." Che Xiaoxiao began to look Chin Haodong up and down from head to toe. Finally, she even stretched out her hand and blew on his chest twice. Then she praised, "Not bad. You're handsome and strong. You're barely worthy of our Momo." Lin Momo said, "Haodong, Xiaoxiao and I are college classmates, and we have been roommates for 4 years. She is also my best friend." Chin Haodong reached out to Che Xiaoxiao and said, "Hello." Chin Haodong said, "I didn't expect you to have such a best friend. Why? Can't I have friends?" As she spoke, she took Chin Haodong's arm and walked to the hotel's VIP room number 2 with ease. "Of course I don't mean that. I just think there's a big difference in personality between the two of you. You're usually cold, but she's like a flame. Who says that people with big differences in personality can't be friends? Maybe it's because our personalities complement each other that we can be best friends." After a pause, Lin Momo said, "In fact, we have a lot in common." "Do we? Why don't I see that?" Chin Haodong said. "Of course. In fact, although Xiaoxiao talks like a hooligan, she is still very pure inside. I knew her relationship history very well. She was a blank in high school. When she was in college, she had a boyfriend who was also her only boyfriend. Later, that person went to M country. In the blink of an eye, 3 years had passed, but Xiaoxiao had been waiting silently for that person to come back. With her appearance and intelligence, many people have been chasing after her over the years, including rich young masters and elites in various industries. But Xiaoxiao has never been moved. She has been waiting for that person. Oh. I didn't expect her to be so loyal." Lin Momo's introduction had greatly changed Chin Haodong's impression of Che Xiaoxiao. As they walked forward slowly, Chin Haodong constantly sighed at the size of the hotel. It even had a private beach and scenic mountain, which looked both luxurious and tasteful. VIP room number 2 was one of the few sea view balconies in the dreamy Jiangnan Hotel. It was not far from the sea, and all kinds of scenery on the sea could be seen. It gave people a dreamy feeling, which made them feel relaxed and happy. It definitely deserved to be called luxurious. Not only was there a luxurious restaurant, but there was also a lounge, a small swimming pool, and all kinds of facilities. There was also a staircase leading to the beach below. The restaurant was set on the balcony. The waiter quickly served the ordered dishes one by one. They tasted the delicious food while enjoying the sea view in front of them, feeling extremely comfortable. The beautiful scenery and the beautiful woman were right in front of him. Looking at Lin Momo's almost perfect face, Qin Haodong felt a burst of emotion in his heart. He was really lucky in his previous life. It was just a chance encounter, but he unexpectedly met such a beautiful woman. Feeling Qin Haodong's burning gaze, Lin Momo asked, "What are you looking at?" "Enjoying the beautiful scenery." Qin Haodong smiled. "Why are you looking at me when you're enjoying the beautiful scenery? The scenery outside is not as beautiful as you. You're the most beautiful scenery in my eyes." Glib. Although Lin Momo said so, she obviously enjoyed Qin Haodong's praise very much. She picked up the wine glass in her hand and said, "Thank you for helping me today. For today's victory, let's have a drink together. Don't be so polite with me. You're my woman. Who else should I help if not you?" After saying that, Qin Haodong raised his glass and clinked with Lin Momo's. They took a sip respectively. Lin Momo's cheeks were red, not knowing whether it was because of the effect of alcohol or because of Qin Haodong's words. She looked particularly attractive. She said, "My second uncle and others are so annoying. They've been targeting you one after another." Qin Haodong said, "Because they know that only by bringing me down can they take away your position as president." Alas! Lin Momo sighed and said, "Is this position really so important? If it weren't for the Lin family, I wouldn't want to sit here. Sometimes I really want to just give it to them. Why do they have to fight like this? The pursuit of life is different. The less capable people are, the more they want to try things beyond their ability." Lin Momo said with a worried face, "I'm afraid that after today's plot fails, they will come up with other ways to target you. It doesn't matter. They're just a few clowns. They can't make any big waves." Qin Haodong said indifferently. He really didn't take Lin Pingchao and others seriously. He said to Lin Momo, "Forget it. Let's not talk about them. What we have to do now is to enjoy life and live happily in our world." After dinner, Qin Haodong glanced at the swimming pool next to him and said, "Momo, let's go swimming." While speaking, his eyes kept moving up and down Lin Momo's sexy body, imagining what his woman would look like in a swimsuit. It was estimated that she would be very beautiful. It seemed that Lin Momo had seen through Qin Haodong's mind. She said shyly, "Forget it. Let's go back." "How can we go back after a meal in such a good place?" Qin Haodong took Lin Momo's hand and walked directly to the swimming pool next to him. It had to be said that the service of the VIP room was really good. There was a changing room next to the swimming pool, in which there were various types of swimsuits. Qin Haodong changed into a pair of swimming trunks first and walked out. He said to Lin Momo, "It's your turn. Swimming and basking in the sun are good for your health." Looking at Qin Haodong's good figure without any fat and the angular waistline, Lin Momo felt a burst of heat on her face. She gently nodded and then walked into the changing room. Originally, she wanted to find a conservative swimsuit. But after looking around, there were only all kinds of bikinis here. She had no choice but to choose a black bikini in her hand. She took off her clothes and looked at her infinitely beautiful body in the mirror. Thinking that Qin Haodong was only separated by a layer of glass, she couldn't help blushing and turning her head to look outside. Although the frosted glass in the bathroom could not see the scenery clearly, she could still see the outline. At this time, Qin Haodong was very comfortable lying on the recliner next to the bath. He didn't peek at Lin Momo changing clothes because there was a layer of frosted glass between them. It was really boring. It was better to lie down and imagine. Thinking that without the little fellow making trouble today, he would be able to kiss her later. His heartbeat couldn't help but speed up a little. When Lin Momo came out in a sexy bikini, Qin Haodong couldn't help but swallow a few mouthfuls of saliva. White skin, exquisite curves, and two perfect long legs, this kind of beauty could be described as devastating. "What are you looking at? It's not like I haven't seen it before." After Lin Momo finished speaking, she suddenly realized that she had said something wrong. She had been seen by Qin Haodong in the bathroom. Thinking of that shameful scene, her cheeks became hotter and hotter. She quickly went to the bath and jumped in. Qin Haodong also jumped into the swimming pool, but after a few laps, both of them felt that the swimming pool was too small. It was not fun at all. Let's go outside. It's better in the sea. Lin Momo nodded. At this time, she had adapted a lot. She let Qin Haodong take her hand and they walked along the stairs to the beach together. This was the private beach of the hotel, so there were not many tourists. They first walked on the beach for a while, and then rushed into the arms of the sea together. The sea was indeed much more enjoyable than the swimming pool. Both of them were excellent swimmers. They swam in the sea for more than an hour and finally reluctantly returned to the shore. I haven't had such a good swim for a long time. Walking on the beach again, Lin Momo took Qin Haodong's hand and looked very excited. She had been devoted to the work of Lin's group for a long time, and it was rare for her to have such a chance to relax. How about it? Are you tired? Qin Haodong asked. A little. Then let's go back. I'll give you a massage and you'll feel much better. Qin Haodong said with a malicious look. You're so annoying. Seemingly aware of Qin Haodong's intention, Lin Momo rolled her eyes at him charmingly, but she still took Qin Haodong's hand and walked towards the balcony. Chapter 149. So beautiful, really beautiful. I didn't expect there to be such a beautiful girl in Jiangnan. The young man stared at Lin Momo's curvaceous body through the telescope lens. He wanted to tear the two bikinis into pieces. His eyes were full of greed and desire. Knowing that Qin Haodong and Lin Momo had returned to their room together, the young man reluctantly put down the telescope. Originally, he just wanted to enjoy the sea view here, but he didn't expect to see such a beautiful woman. She was just like the goddess in his mind. The only thing he felt uncomfortable was that the goddess was accompanied by a man. He said to a middle-aged man who looked like a butler beside him, "Butler, what's the number of the next room?" "Young master, we are in VIP room number 1. Next door is VIP room number 2. VIP room number 2. Clean up and let's go and have a look," the young man said. "Young master, do you see a friend? We're not friends yet, but we might be in the future, and we'll be very close." The young man smiled, took off his bathrobe and began to change clothes. After Qin Haodong and Lin Momo returned to the room, Lin Momo plunged into the comfortable big bed in the room and murmured, "I'm so tired. I haven't swum like this for a long time." She forgot that she was only wearing a bikini. Lying on the bed lazily, her undulating curves were a fatal temptation to men. Qin Haodong began to swallow his saliva when he saw her. Lin Momo said lazily, "Haodong, what are you doing? Give me a massage. My muscles are so sore." "Okay, I'm coming." Qin Haodong would not refuse such a request from the child's mother. He reached out and pressed on Lin Momo's smooth jade-like skin. Lin Momo's skin was smooth and smooth. It felt very good when he pressed it. Her beauty was the best interpretation of her. After pressing it a few times, Qin Haodong felt a ball of fire slowly rising in his body, which made the second head of state restless. He forcibly comforted him and quickly transferred green-wood genuine qi into Lin Momo's body to help her relieve the fatigue and numbness of her muscles. "Oh! It's so comfortable." Lin Momo, who was lying on the bed, naturally did not know Qin Haodong's state. She let out a soul-stirring moan, which made Qin Haodong's hands tremble, and he involuntarily exerted more strength. While Lin Momo was enjoying it, she felt that the strength was not right. She could not help but ask, "Ouch! Haodong, what are you doing? Why did you use so much strength?" Qin Haodong did not answer. Instead, he reached out and pulled off the button of the bikini on her back. After the last bit of restraint on her upper body was gone, two attractive hemispheres were immediately revealed from both sides. Ah! Lin Momo screamed softly, but she didn't move or stop Qin Haodong. She was still lying quietly on the bed. Her charm was self-evident. Seeing that Lin Momo did not object, Qin Haodong's breathing became more rapid. Naturally, she was not in a good mood. He had always been proud of himself, but he didn't expect to be rejected here. His face suddenly became ugly. The housekeeper next to him came over and said, "Young master, do you want me to break the door?" Xuanbang glared at him and said, "Nonsense. I'm chasing women, not robbing them. You can't use violence unless it's a last resort." After closing the door, Qin Haodong picked Lin Momo up by the waist and rushed to the big bed in the bedroom again. "Haodong, I'm afraid he'll knock on the door again. No matter who dares to disturb us again, I'll break his legs." As soon as Qin Haodong finished speaking, his mobile phone on the tea table began to ring desperately. Qin Haodong's anger was getting bigger and bigger. Who was so blind? Why did he call at this time? He didn't want to answer it. Maybe the other side of the phone was very persistent and kept calling. Looking at the annoyed Qin Haodong, Lin Momo sneered and said, "You'd better answer the phone first." Qin Haodong grabbed the mobile phone and pressed the answer button without looking at it. He said angrily, "Who are you looking for?" "Papa, you're so fierce. You scared me." The pitiful voice of the little fellow came from the other side of the phone. Hearing that it was his daughter's phone call, Qin Haodong's anger immediately turned into tenderness and honey. He said softly, "I'm sorry, Tang Tang. Papa didn't know it was you. Why are you looking for Papa? Do you miss Papa?" "Yes. Tang Tang misses Papa and Mama. You're all gone. It's boring for me to be alone at home." "Well, wait. Papa and Mama will go back to play with you right away. Papa, hurry up. Dumao and Ermao miss you too," the little fellow said in a childish voice. "Soon, Papa and Mama will go back soon." Hanging up the phone, Lin Momo said with a smile, "Didn't you say that you would break the legs of whoever disturbs us?" Qin Haodong's anger had disappeared. He said with a smile, "The world is big, but our daughter is the most important. It's natural for our daughter to look for us. How can it be called disturbing?" Lin Momo said, "I think you spoil your daughter more than I do. Compared with you, I'm just a stepmother. Daughters should be spoiled, but you've passed on the beauty gene to her. I'll do the rest." Qin Haodong said, "Let's go back. It's very pitiful to leave our daughter alone at home. As for our big thing, we'll find a chance to do it." After that, they changed their clothes together, opened the door and walked out. When they went out, they were surprised to find that Xuanbang was still holding roses at the door. The smile on Lin Momo's face quickly disappeared, and she said with a cold expression, "Are you done?" Xuanbang didn't care at all. He still smiled, holding the roses in his hand and said, "Miss Lin, this is a gift from me. Please accept it." Lin Momo reached out to grab the roses, raised her hand and threw them into the trash can next to her. Then she said, "Now you can go." Xuanbang's face changed and he said, "Miss Lin, why? I'm a member of the Xue family in the capital. It's better to follow me than to follow a gigolo. It will be good for you and your family." Lin Momo had seen a lot of such self-righteous pursuers over the years. She ignored Xuanbang and took Qin Haodong's arm directly to the front. "Stop, our young master hasn't said to let you go yet." Two people who looked like bodyguards stood in front of Qin Haodong and Lin Momo. Qin Haodong glanced at the two of them. They had reached the 8th level of overt power, but he didn't take them seriously. He turned to Xuanbang and said, "Good dogs don't stand in the way. Hurry up and ask your people to get out of the way, or I won't be polite." "Boy, how dare you talk to our young master like this? Do you want to die? While talking, the two bodyguards rushed to Qin Haodong in a fierce manner. Qin Haodong ran his green with genuine qi and wanted to give these two guys a taste of his power. Everyone, don't fight. With a burst of fragrance, Che Xiaoxiao's plump and sexy body was inserted between Qin Haodong and the two bodyguards, separating them. Why is the little handsome guy so angry? Could it be that Momo's period is coming? She put her head in Qin Haodong's ear and spoke in a low voice that only the two of them could hear. Because they were too close, the two towering weapons on her chest forced Qin Haodong to step back again and again. Qin Haodong smiled a little awkwardly. Since the owner of the hotel was here, he naturally couldn't fight by force. After calming Qin Haodong's anger in this way, Che Xiaoxiao smiled like a flower and said to Shui Anbang, Master Shui, this is my good sister Lin Momo. Is there any misunderstanding between you? It had to be said that her social skills were indeed very strong. With just a raise of her hand, she had completely dissolved the tense atmosphere from before. Chapter 150. Che Xiaoxiao said, if you want to drink, it's easy. I'll drink with you. Momo has never been as good as me. I'll drink with you. After that, she turned to Lin Momo and Qin Haodong and said, you are all distinguished guests of our hotel. It's just a little misunderstanding. Go ahead. Qin Haodong ignored Shui Anbang and left the dreamy Jiangnan Hotel with Lin Momo. Shui Anbang did not invite Che Xiaoxiao to drink, but turned back to his room. Although he had seen countless women over the years, he had never been so attracted to Lin Momo. Although he let Lin Momo leave today, he did not intend to give up. Have you found out? What's the background of these two people? He said to the housekeeper beside him. I found them, young master. The housekeeper said, the woman is Lin Momo, the president of Jiangnan Lin's group, and the man is Qin Haodong, a senior student of Jiangnan Medical University. Student? Hearing Qin Haodong's identity, Shui Anbang couldn't help laughing secretly. Just now, he felt a terrible aura from Qin Haodong. He didn't expect that he, the young master of the Shui family, would be scared by a student. The housekeeper continued, Lin Momo is in love with Qin Haodong, and she already has a child at home. I don't think such a woman is worthy of you at all. What's the point of having a child? You forget my hobby. I like mature women best. It's boring if she is too young. She doesn't know how to flirt at all. Shui Anbang said, anyway, I'm going to have Lin Momo. Young master, what do you want to do? Asked the housekeeper. Don't worry, I have a way. Shui Anbang thought for a moment and said, Jiangnan Lin's group. I forgot it if you didn't mention it. I remember that one of our relatives is in Lin's group. In the past, they wanted to curry favor with our Shui family, but we didn't pay attention to them. Now that we are in Jiangnan, let's go and have a look first. In the Lin family, Lin Zhigao held the phone as if he were holding a burning charcoal with a bitter face. On the other side of the phone, Lin Xiaotian, the elder of the Lin family, was roaring at him. Lin Zhigao, who gave you the courage to initiate the president replacement vote twice in a row? Are you crazy? Have you forgotten that Momo is your niece, the president of the Lin family appointed by my old man? Today's board of directors made too much noise. Finally, the news reached the ears of the old man. Lin Xiaotian was furious. He immediately called Lin Zhigao and scolded him. No matter how stupid Lin Zhigao was, he would not betray his son. He said, Dad, it's not my fault. It's all Zhao Zhongqin's fault. Nonsense. Do you think I'm really old? Don't think I don't know what you're planning. Let me tell you, if I find out that you have done anything to Momo in private again, both of you will get out of the Lin family. After that, Lin Xiaotian slapped off the phone. Lin Zhigao put down his phone gloomily, picked up the red wine on the table, and gulped it down. What's wrong, Dad? Did the old man scold you? Compared with Lin Zhigao, Lin Pingchao was much calmer. It's all your fault. It's all your idea. When something goes wrong, the old man scolds me. Lin Zhigao said discontentedly. Lin Pingchao laughed and said, victory and defeat are common in the military. We just failed twice. Anyway, we didn't lose anything. We can find another way later. Lin Zhigao said discouraged, if you want to play, you can play by yourself. I won't play. If I do it again, the old man will drive me out of the house. Look at you, you can't even compare with half of your son. During the conversation, a well-dressed middle-aged woman came in. She was Lin Zhigao's wife and Lin Pingchao's mother, Zhang Xiuying. It's my fault again. It's your son's idea. It has nothing to do with me. Lin Zhigao said discontentedly. It's really an accident this time. I didn't expect Qin Haodong's medical skills to be so good. He not only cured Maldini, but also got a medical qualification certificate. Lin Pingchao paused for a moment and then said with a fierce look, but what can I do? The president of the Lin family must be me, Lin Zhigao. I will get it no matter what. Lin Zhigao said, son, don't be impulsive. The old man said just now. If he has something on us again, we may be in serious trouble. Don't worry, I won't do anything impulsive. Haste makes waste. Let's play with Lin Momo slowly. Son, what do you want to do? Zhang Xiuying asked. I haven't figured it out yet, but there must be a way. As soon as Lin Pingchao finished speaking, their nanny ran in from outside and said to Zhang Xiuying, there is a young man outside. He said he is from the capital and is a relative of your family. From the capital? Our relative? Zhang Xiuying paused for a moment and then stood up from the sofa. Is it someone from the Shui family? Let's go and have a look. After that, she hurried to the door. Lin Pingchao and Lin Zhigao looked at each other and followed her out. Zhang Xiuying came to the door and saw Shui Anbang standing at the door. She immediately shouted excitedly, oh, Anbang is here. Why didn't you call me first so that I could pick you up? Aunt, uncle, cousin, how are you? I haven't seen you for a long time. I brought you a little gift this time. Shui Anbang was completely like a son of a big family. After that, he waved his hand, and the housekeeper behind him immediately brought up a big red brocade box. Anbang, come to our house. We are all family. You don't need to bring gifts. Zhang Xiuying said politely and asked the nanny to take the brocade box. Then she enthusiastically let Shui Anbang into the house. After Shui Anbang entered the house, he sat on the sofa. Zhang Xiuying's family surrounded him warmly and were very polite. The Shui family and Zhang Xiuying's family had some relatives, but the relatives were a little far away. When Lin Momo took over as president, Zhang Xiuying thought of seeking help from the Shui family in the capital. She wanted to let her son take over as president through the influence of the Shui family. Although the Shui family was only a third-rate business family in the capital, it was definitely a giant compared with Lin's group. As long as the Shui family came forward to help, Lin Xiaotian was likely to hand over the presidency to Lin Pingchao. However, when Zhang Xiuying arrived at the Shui family, she was directly rejected. The Shui family didn't care about distant relatives like her at all. It had been several years. She didn't expect that Shui Anbang would take the initiative to visit her today, which made her a little overjoyed and flattered. After several people were polite for a while, Zhang Xiuying asked, Anbang, what's the matter for you to come to my aunt's house this time? Shui Anbang said, I haven't seen you for a long time. I mainly miss my aunt, so I come to see her. By the way, there's a little thing. What's the matter? As long as our Lin family can do it, we will do our best to do it. Lin Zhigao said with a flattering face. Although the Shui family did not help last time, which made their family very dissatisfied, they did not dare to show it. After all, in their eyes, the Shui family was too powerful. In fact, it's not a big deal. Shui Anbang said, this time I came to Jiangnan City to play. When I was in the hotel, I met a very good girl. I want to ask my aunt to help me propose marriage to her. Propose marriage? Do I know this girl? Besides, with your identity, Anbang, you can find any girl you want. Do you still need my aunt's help? Zhang Xiuying asked doubtfully. She really didn't expect that Shui Anbang came this time to ask for help to propose marriage. She was a little confused. Shui Anbang said, this woman's identity is a little special. She is the president of your Lin family, Lin Momo. Lin Momo? Lin Jigao's family opened their mouths in surprise. No one expected that Shui Anbang would like Lin Momo. What, is there a problem? Shui Anbang asked. This. Lin Jigao and his wife looked at Lin Pingchao together. Although they were parents, such a big thing still needed their son to make a decision. Lin Pingchao said, cousin, no problem. Leave this matter to our family. I will give you an answer tomorrow. Then please. Since the matter had been finished, Shui Anbang did not stay any longer. He turned and left the Lin family. After sending Shui Anbang away, Lin Jigao came back and said with annoyance, son, why do you agree to everything? Lin Momo is not easy to deal with now. If she and Shui Anbang are together, our family will have no hope at all. Lin Pingchao said with a smile, Dad, you still look at the problem too single-minded. Think about it, if Lin Momo really marries Shui Anbang, will she still stay in Jiangnan City, will she still stay in our Shui family? Lin Jigao thought for a moment, patted his thigh and cried, yes, why didn't I think of it? If Lin Momo marries Shui Anbang, she will inevitably go to the capital. It is impossible for her to stay in the Lin family as president. At that time, the president's throne will be ours. Zhang Xiuying also understood the relationship and said excitedly, great, it's a chance given to us by God. I was just worried about how to deal with Lin Momo. Now Shui Anbang comes to propose marriage. God wants to help us, Pingchao. However, after a short excitement, Lin Jigao said, no, son, now Lin Momo is in a good relationship with the boy surnamed Qin. I'm afraid Shui Anbang won't have a chance to propose marriage. Zhang Xiuying said, how is it possible? Shui Anbang is a member of the Shui family in the capital. Can he lose to a little doctor? Lin Pingchao said, nothing is impossible. If I'm not wrong, Shui Anbang must have been rejected by Lin Momo, so he came to our family for help. He wants to make Lin Momo agree to this marriage through the influence of the elders. Lin Jigao said, what can we do? Your grandfather and your uncle love that girl very much. If Lin Momo doesn't agree, they will not force her. Lin Pingchao held his chin in his hand and thought for a while with his eyes open. He said, this is definitely an opportunity for us, but it will take some effort to get Lin Momo to agree. Zhang Xiuying said, son, you have the most ideas. You tell us what to do. Lin Pingchao said, well, tomorrow mom, you ask Lin Momo out and say that you want to have dinner with her. I have a friend who runs a Western restaurant. The place is there. When the time comes, call Shui Anbang and let the two of them meet there. Lin Jigao said, what's the use of this? At that time, Lin Momo won't agree. Zhang Xiuying rolled her eyes at him and said, don't worry, I have a way. Chapter 151. Zhang Xiuying didn't expect that her son would come up with such a sinister trick. She couldn't help but exclaim, will it work? If Lin Momo still doesn't agree and tells the old man, our family will be in trouble. Lin Pingchao sneered and said, so what if she tells the old man? At that time, who can be sure that it was us or Shui Anbang who did it? We can directly put the blame on the Shui family. No matter how powerful the old man is, what can he do to the Shui family? Lin Jigao said with some hesitation, but Lin Momo is still a member of the Lin family, your cousin. Lin Pingqiao said carelessly, so what? We are not tricking her. Isn't it better to let her marry into the Shui family? She can live a life without worrying about food and clothing, which is much better than living with that gigolo. Zhang Xiuying echoed and said, my son is right. Is she a chaste woman? For years ago, she had a child with someone without knowing why, and now she doesn't even know who the father of the child is. Seeing that his wife and son agreed, Lin Zhigao finally said nothing. Lin Pingqiao said, since it's settled, let's start to prepare. First of all, we have to find the right medicine. That's easy. Zhang Xiuying reached out to Lin Zhigao and said, take it out. What? What do you want from me? Lin Zhigao asked. Don't play dumb with me. Do you think I don't know what you do outside all day? How can you lack this kind of medicine? Take it out for your son. Lin Zhigao looked embarrassed, but he didn't say anything in the end. He took out a transparent glass bottle from his pocket, which contained white powder. Zhang Xiuying grabbed the glass bottle and asked, what medicine is this? Is it good? Don't delay my son's important thing. Lin Zhigao said, this is a new imported medicine from M country. It's called stripper. No matter what kind of chaste woman she is, as long as she takes this medicine, she will immediately take off her clothes. There is nothing in her eyes except for that kind of thing, and she will not have any memory after that. Are you sure this medicine is effective? Zhang Xiuying asked. Of course it works. I have tried it several times. Lin Zhigao realized that he had said something wrong. He quickly explained, my friend introduced it to me. He said he had used it several times. Zhang Xiuying glared at him fiercely. Without saying anything, she put the medicine directly into her small bag. Lin Zhigao breathed a sigh of relief and hurriedly said, this is 10 times. Don't put too much, just a little will do. Don't worry. I know what I'm doing. I won't die even if I put a little more of this stuff. What can I do? Zhang Xiuying said indifferently. After returning home, Qin Haodong drove Lin Momo and the little fellow out for a drive. The family of 3 played until nightfall before returning home. After coaxing the little fellow to sleep, he returned to his home. As soon as he walked into the living room and sat down on the sofa, the phone in his pocket rang. He glanced at the phone and found it was Qi Weiner. This girl, calling me so late at night. What's the matter? While thinking, Qin Haodong pressed the answer button. Qi Weiner's excited voice came from the other side of the phone. Brother Dong, I'll treat you to dinner tomorrow. Why do you suddenly think of treating me to dinner? What's the matter? Qin Haodong asked. It's my birthday tomorrow. You should celebrate it with me. Qin Haodong said with a smile, sister, if you want to date me, just say it. Didn't you just celebrate your birthday? How come it's only a few days ago? He might not know other people's birthdays, but he knew clearly about Qi Weiner's. On that day, she almost tore down her house, which had just been decorated for a few days. Why are you so serious? Can't you treat me to dinner on my birthday? Qi Weiner said discontentedly. Qin Haodong said with a smile, I can treat you to dinner, but you can't lie to me. Even if you want to lie to me, you should find a better reason. It's obviously belittling my IQ. Qi Weiner said angrily, can't you just pretend to be confused? All right, I'll tell you, it's to celebrate my aunt's birthday, okay? Your aunt's birthday. Which aunt? Qin Haodong was really confused. He didn't understand which Aunt Qi Weiner was talking about. After a little silence, Qi Weiner's slightly choked voice came from the other side of the phone. These years, I have been raised as a ghost slave, completely different from other girls. I have never had my period. Just now my aunt came, and I finally became a normal woman. Qin Haodong understood what Qi Weiner meant. It turned out that she was crying with joy. Only he could understand the girl's inner pain. He couldn't help saying, "Don't cry, it's worth celebrating. Tell me, when will we have dinner tomorrow? The sooner the better." Chi Weiner's voice was choked with sobs, but also full of excitement. "It's not good to be too early. The restaurant hasn't opened yet, and I have to go to work. Then 11 o'clock in the morning. I'll book the restaurant and send you the address." Chi Weiner said and hung up the phone. Thinking that Chi Weiner was going to celebrate her aunt's birthday, Qin Haodong couldn't help smiling and shaking his head. It was also a strange birthday. When he was about to put down the phone, his phone rang again. This time it was Yao Qianshan. He sent Yao Qianshan to keep an eye on Lin Pingchao. There must be some news if she called at this time. After answering the phone, Qin Haodong asked, "What's the matter, is there any news?" "Here's the thing, boss, Lin Pingchao's family is planning to do something to Miss Lin." Yao Qianshan heard the plan of Lin Jigao's family of 3 clearly, and now she reported it to Qin Haodong. "Okay, I got it. You continue to keep an eye on Lin Pingchao, and tell me immediately if there's any trouble." Qin Haodong said and hung up the phone. It seemed that his arrangement was very correct. He got the news from Yao Qianshan in advance about the action of the board of directors today, otherwise he wouldn't have been able to deal with it so calmly. Lin Zhigao and his son had been involved in several provocations in the past, which were still within the scope of the group's rules. He didn't expect that they would use such despicable means this time, which made Qin Haodong feel cold. "Since you want to play, then I'll play with you. Let's see who will win in the end." He had been thinking about Lin Momo, and in the blink of an eye, he forgot the phone call from Chi Weiner, and didn't even pay attention to the message sent to him. At noon the next day, Qin Haodong came to Lin Momo's office early. "Haodong, why are you here so early?" Lin Momo was slightly surprised. "Waiting for you to treat me to dinner," Qin Haodong said with a smile. Hearing his words, Lin Momo immediately blushed, thinking that Qin Haodong wanted to do what he failed to do in the dreamy Jiangnan yesterday. She said with a little shyness, "Today is not a good time. I have to work. Let's go on the weekend." Qin Haodong was stunned for a moment. After figuring out the meaning of Lin Momo's words, he said with a smirk, "The weekend is a big meal, and this noon is to fill my stomach." "Oh. Then let's go to the cafeteria." "No, someone will treat you to dinner later," Qin Haodong said. "Someone will treat me to dinner? Who will treat me to dinner?" As soon as Lin Momo's voice fell, her cell phone rang. She picked up the phone and glanced at it. She was slightly stunned when she saw it was Zhang Xiuying. Although her relationship with this second aunt was not bad, it was not good either. They rarely contacted each other except for family gatherings. She didn't expect that she would call her today. But anyway, she was her elder. She pressed the answer button and said politely, "Second aunt, what's the matter?" "Momo, I don't have anything to tell you. It's just that we haven't seen each other for a long time, and I miss you a little. I haven't had lunch at noon. Do you have time? Let's have lunch together." "Second aunt, I'm still at work. Let's have lunch another day." Lin Momo didn't really want to have lunch with Zhang Xiuying. "Don't, Momo. I really miss you. I'm at Milan Western Restaurant. I've booked all the seats. Come here quickly." "Second aunt, I'm really at work." "It doesn't matter. It's almost lunchtime. I just want to have a chat with you. It won't take up too much of your time. It won't affect your afternoon work. Besides, there's your second uncle in the company. It's no big deal." Seeing that Zhang Xiuying insisted on having lunch with her, Lin Momo hesitated for a moment and finally said, "Well, second aunt, I'll be there right away." Although she looked a little cold, she still attached great importance to her family. Otherwise, Lin Zhigao and his son would not have made trouble for her again and again. She had been tolerating it, neither telling her father nor her grandfather, Lin Xiaotian. After hanging up the phone, Qin Haodong said with a smile, "See, I'm right. Someone wants to invite you to lunch. It's my second aunt. She wants to have lunch with me at noon." Lin Momo reacted and asked, "You didn't know it in advance, did you? Your second aunt just called. How could I know in advance? I just calculated that someone would invite you to lunch today, so I came to you and wanted to go with you." "Well, my second aunt wants to have lunch with me. We are two women. It's not appropriate for you to follow her." "What's inappropriate about it? I'm your boyfriend and your bodyguard. It's not bad to meet your second aunt." After saying that, he held Lin Momo in his arms tightly, indicating that he was her bodyguard. Lin Momo thought for a moment and realized that Qin Haodong was right. Their relationship had been made public. It was not a big deal to take him to meet Zhang Xiuying. She said, "Well, you can go with me. But be careful what you say. Don't make my second aunt angry." Qin Haodong said with a smile, "Don't worry. I'll just eat and not talk. You can talk whatever you want." They left Lin's group and soon came to a VIP room on the second floor of the Milan Western restaurant. After entering the door, Zhang Xiuying and Lin Momo were both stunned. Zhang Xiuying did not expect that Qin Haodong would come with Lin Momo, and Lin Momo did not expect that Xue Anbang, the young master of the Xue family, whom she met yesterday, was sitting in the restaurant. "Hello, Miss Lin. I didn't expect to see you again so soon." Xue Anbang stood up and greeted Lin Momo in a gentleman's manner. "Why are you here?" Lin Momo's face immediately became cold. She said to Zhang Xiuying, "Second aunt, didn't you want to have lunch with me? Why is there an outsider?" "It's not an outsider. Anbang is my nephew. He just came to Jiangnan City today. Let's have lunch together." Chapter 152. Lin Momo said, "Second aunt, this is my boyfriend, Qin Haodong." "Ah. Boyfriend?" Although Zhang Xiuying had heard about Qin Haodong from Lin Pingchao and his son, she did not expect that Lin Momo would bring him here today. "Momo, it's not appropriate for a man to eat here, is it?" In her mind, she could not wait to kick Qin Haodong out. "Isn't he a man?" Lin Momo pointed to Xue Anbang and said, "If you don't want to, then we'll go back together." After seeing Xue Anbang, she really wanted to turn around and leave immediately, but considering that Zhang Xiuying was an elder after all, she still had to give some basic face. "Well, let's sit together." Zhang Xiuying could only let Lin Momo and Qin Haodong into the private room together. This was a Western restaurant, and there was a long square table in the private room. Qin Haodong naturally would not let his woman sit with a man, so he sat on Xue Anbang's side, and Lin Momo and Zhang Xiuying sat on the other side. After sitting down, Zhang Xiuying said, "Momo, let me introduce you. This is Xue Anbang, the young master of the Xue family from the capital." "No need to introduce me. We've already met." Lin Momo said coldly. It seemed that her son's speculation was right. Xue Anbang was rejected by Lin Momo, and then he asked her for help. Thinking about it, Zhang Xiuying said, "Momo, Anbang is really good. He is very good in all aspects. Now he has been designated as the heir of the Xue family." Even though Zhang Xiuying praised Xue Anbang with saliva, Lin Momo did not even look at him, and the expression on her face became more and more indifferent. Finally, Zhang Xiuying said, "Momo, Anbang fell in love with you at first sight. I think it's just right for you to be together. As long as you follow Anbang, you will immediately be a rich lady in the capital. Don't forget me then." "Second aunt, what are you talking about? I have a boyfriend. I hate this person very much, and it's impossible for me to be with him. If you mention it again, I'll get up and leave." Seeing that Lin Momo's attitude was so determined, Xue Anbang quickly winked at Zhang Xiuying. He had already fully known Lin Pingchao's plan, so he was not in a hurry. After Lin Momo took the medicine, he could do whatever he wanted with her. Zhang Xiuying also understood and hurriedly said, "That's enough, second aunt. Let's eat." Then she called the waiter and said, "Hurry up and serve the dishes." Qin Haodong clearly saw the flirting between the woman and Xuanbang, but he didn't say anything. He just watched them perform. Soon, a waiter in his 20s walked into the room with a tray. There were 4 glasses of red wine on the tray, and he delivered them to the 4 people one by one. Qin Haodong's spirit was powerful. He had clearly felt that one of the glasses of red wine had a strange aura, and the waiter deliberately sent the glass of wine to Lin Momo. It was obvious that Zhang Xiuying had added something to it. After the waiter put down the red wine, he turned his head and was about to leave. Qin Haodong flicked his fingers, and an invisible force shot out. The waiter felt his knees go soft for no reason. He slipped and fell to the ground with a plop. His fall was so sudden that it immediately attracted the attention of several people. Zhang Xiuying and Xuanbang looked at the door together. At this moment, the red wine glasses in front of Lin Momo and Zhang Xiuying suddenly disappeared and were put into the storage ring by Qin Haodong. When he took them out again, the 2 glasses had changed positions. It was complicated to say, but the process added up to less than a second. It was silent and traceless. Almost in the blink of an eye, he exchanged the 2 glasses without anyone noticing. After the waiter got up from the ground, he quickly bowed to the people in the room and said, "I'm sorry. I'm really sorry to disturb your meal. Well, be careful in the future. Hurry up and bring up all our dishes." After Xuanbang waved his hand to let the waiter go out, he said to Lin Momo with a flattering face, "Momo, I specially ordered this for you. It's the best Bordeaux wine in this restaurant. A bottle costs 100,000 yuan. Then he raised his glass, but Lin Momo rolled her eyes at him and did not respond. Zhang Xiuying quickly followed and said, "Yes, Momo, it's rare for us to have dinner together. Let's have a drink first." Qin Haodong also raised his glass and said, "Yes, Momo, it's rare for second aunt to show her kindness. Let's have a drink together, and we must drink it." After that, he took the lead in raising his glass and drank up the red wine in the glass. After drinking, he smacked his lips and praised, "This wine tastes really good. It's not fake wine. Momo, I'll drink too." Xuanbang also drank up the wine in his glass. He was secretly happy and thought to himself, "This idiot is really cooperative. Your woman will be in my bed later." Zhang Xiuying also drank up the wine. Seeing that she was alone, Lin Momo could only drink up the wine in her glass. Seeing that Lin Momo had drunk up the wine, Zhang Xiuying and Xuanbang looked at each other with a trace of pride and excitement in their eyes. At this time, the waiter brought up 4 steaks and placed them in front of them. Qin Haodong was too lazy to cut the steaks one by one, so he directly took a big bite with a fork. Zhang Xiuying looked at Qin Haodong with disgust and said, "This is a high-end restaurant. Can't you eat with some quality? The most important thing about eating is to be refreshed. Why do you have to pay so much attention to it?" Qin Haodong took another big bite of the steak and said vaguely, "When I eat steak, I like to chase the cow's butt. It's fresh, with fur and skin, flesh and blood and taste. That's satisfying." What? Zhang Xiuying had goosebumps all over her body. Looking at the steak in front of her, she no longer had any appetite, but Lin Momo couldn't help laughing. Seeing that Qin Haodong ate the steak in front of him quickly, Zhang Xiuying said, "Come out with me. I have something to tell you." She had just calculated that Lin Zhigao said that this powder was very effective and would take effect in about 5 minutes, so she had to take Qin Haodong away, otherwise, it would be difficult for Xuanbang to take Lin Momo away. "Can't we talk here?" Qin Haodong asked. "It's not convenient here. You can talk with me outside." "Well, you have to hurry up, or the dishes will be cold." Qin Haodong reluctantly looked at the delicious food on the table and walked out of the restaurant with Zhang Xiuying. Zhang Xiuying deliberately took Qin Haodong out of the restaurant and came to the window facing Lin Momo, so that Xuanbang could observe the situation and take action at any time. "What's the matter? Hurry up," Qin Haodong said impatiently. "Have you found that you don't deserve our Momo at all? If you know what's good for you, get out of here and stay away from Momo." Out of the restaurant, Zhang Xiuying was no longer polite. Qin Haodong sneered and said, "Whether I deserve Momo or not, it's up to her. Does it have anything to do with you?" Zhang Xiuying said, "Can you be shameless? Why are you so shameless?" Qin Haodong looked at her, his eyes as sharp as a knife, and said coldly, "You are the shameless person, and you don't deserve Momo. You are a vicious woman, and you don't deserve to be her second aunt. You are not worthy of Momo's affection and respect for you. What are you talking about? Do you have any quality? Do you know how to respect your elders?" "Respect? Elder?" Qin Haodong said, "What a joke. A woman who drugged her niece should be respected. A woman who sent her niece to someone else's bed has the nerve to say that she is an elder." "What? What did you say?" Zhang Xiuying was shocked. Qin Haodong said coldly, "You know what I said best. Don't think I don't know that you added something to Momo's wine. So what? I did all this for Momo. It's for her own good. Don't be shameless." Qin Haodong said, "You did this kind of dirty thing for your son to inherit the position of president of Lin's group. How dare you say it's for Momo? How? How do you know?" Zhang Xiuying's heart had been completely confused. She didn't understand how Qin Haodong knew all this clearly. At the same time, she looked inside the window, hoping that Xuanbang would take Lin Momo away as soon as possible. But to her disappointment, Xuanbang and Lin Mengmeng were still sitting there quietly, looking at her from time to time. Qin Haodong read her mind and said, "Old witch, you don't have to look. Momo didn't drink your wine at all. That's impossible. I saw her finish the wine with my own eyes. Momo did drink it, but there was nothing in that glass of wine, nothing you added. Impossible, impossible." "What about the wine with something added?" Zhang Xiuying became more and more flustered. Qin Haodong looked at her with a playful face and said, "That glass of wine must have been drunk by someone. You'll know who it is soon." "What do you mean?" Zhang Xiuying looked at Qin Haodong and suddenly felt as if her body was on fire. She had an impulse to take off her clothes immediately. At the same time, her brain became blurred and she slowly lost her mind. In the private room, Xuanbang kept watching Lin Momo, waiting for her toxicity to take effect, and then he would take her away directly. However, Lin Momo's eyes were as clear as water, and there was no sign of poisoning. "What's going on? Is there something wrong with Zhang Xiuying's medicine?" Thinking of this, Xuanbang couldn't help but look at Zhang Xiuying downstairs, and he was shocked by what he saw. He saw Zhang Xiuying twisting her fat body downstairs, and then taking off her clothes one by one and throwing them around. Lin Momo also saw Zhang Xiuying's abnormality and immediately stood up. She didn't understand what her second aunt was doing. After all, she was the second grandmother of the Lin family. It was too shameful to do this. Milan Restaurant was located in the commercial center of Jiangnan City. At this time, there were countless guests coming and going. Zhang Xiuying's abnormal performance immediately attracted the attention of countless people. Many people took out their mobile phones and began to take photos and videos of her. In a Mercedes not far away, Lin Zhigao and Lin Pingchao were worried about Zhang Xiuying coming here alone. They sat in the car and watched the movement, waiting for Xuanbang to take Lin Momo away. They saw clearly that Zhang Xiuying called Qin Haodong out, but they didn't know why Zhang Xiuying suddenly began to dance striptease. Even though Lin Pingchao was cunning, he was shocked to see this scene and exclaimed, "What's wrong with my mother? Chapter 153. Stop her. Lin Zhigao and Lin Pingchao rushed out of the car together. They all knew the seriousness of the matter. The second grandma of the Lin family was stripping in the street, which would be a big scandal. 2 people with 4 bodyguards rushed into the crowd. Fortunately, they came in time. Zhang Xiuying did not take off her underwear, but her upper body was already naked. Lin Zhigao quickly took off his coat and put it on Zhang Xiuying. Then he got Zhang Xiuying, who was struggling, into the car. The onlookers would not miss this wonderful drama. They chased after her with their mobile phones to take pictures until Lin Pingchao drove away. Looking at the embarrassed father and son of the Lin family, Qin Haodong smiled and turned back to the Milan Western restaurant. In another restaurant not far away, Qi Weiner's face became more and more ugly. She had made an appointment with Qin Haodong to meet here, but this guy actually stood her up. Yesterday, they had agreed to eat here at 11 a.m., but after 12 a.m., she did not see Qin Haodong. She pouted and took out her mobile phone to call Qin Haodong, but she put it down after thinking about it. She wanted to see what made Qin Haodong forget her. Qi Weiner took out a microcomputer from her bag. As the world's top hacker, she always carried a computer with her. Soon she located the signal location of Qin Haodong's mobile phone and left the restaurant in a hurry. When Qin Haodong returned to the private room, Lin Momo had just recovered from the shock. Seeing him entering the room, she hurriedly asked, "Haodong, what the hell is going on? What's wrong with my second aunt?" Qin Haodong smiled and said, "I don't know." She suddenly began to take off her clothes and dance. Maybe she ate something indigestible in the morning. Lin Momo was not a fool. She could sit in the position of the president of Lin's group. She knew that things would not be so simple. She just saw Lin Zhigao and Lin Pingchao rushing into the crowd. Of course, she would not think it was just a coincidence. There must be something hidden. But because Xuanbang was next to her, she did not ask again. Xuanbang had seen most of it. Nothing happened to Lin Momo, but Zhang Xiuying danced striptease. It was obvious that Zhang Xiuying drank the glass of wine. But in his opinion, it must have been arranged by the Lin family, so that the waiter sent the wrong glass. Since he couldn't rely on Zhang Xiuying, he could only rely on himself today. Fortunately, he had prepared for the worst in advance. Xuanbang said to Lin Momo, "Momo, to tell you the truth, I've seen a lot of beautiful women in my life, but I've never been attracted by one like you. As long as you nod your head, you can be the young lady of our Xue family. Find someone else to be your mistress. I don't care." Lin Momo turned her head and said to Qin Haodong, "Let's go." Originally, this dinner was arranged by Zhang Xiuying. Now that Zhang Xiuying had left, there was naturally no need for her to stay. Seeing that Lin Momo ignored him, the young master of the Xue family, Xuanbang said, "Why bother? We are all civilized people. It's good to go with me happily. Why don't you do it the hard way?" Lin Momo didn't even look at him. She turned her head and walked to the door of the private room. But as soon as she got to the door, she was blocked by 2 bodyguards. Xuanbang smiled proudly and said, "Lin Momo, you forced me. Since you are so insensible, I can only take you back. When the rice is cooked, you will be as obedient as a kitten in my arms." Lin Momo said angrily, "How dare you? Jiangnan City is a small place. There is nothing I dare not do." Xuanbang completely lost his patience and shouted to his bodyguards, "Break the man's legs and throw him out. Take the woman directly." As soon as he finished speaking, he saw 2 bodyguards flying towards him. Yes, they didn't rush to Qin Haodong, but flew to him. The 2 bodyguards hit Xuanbang together, and the 3 of them fell together like rolling gourds. When he got up from the ground, Xuanbang was shocked and angry. His 2 bodyguards were also masters in the family. They had reached the 8th level of overt power. He didn't expect that they would be thrown over like this. "Who? Who dares to attack our Shui family? He shouted and looked at the door. He saw a beautiful woman in her 20s standing at the door with a cold face. Tai Dan, you have grown up. How dare you attack my boss? Qi Wan glared at Shui Anbang and said. Tai Dan. After hearing Qi Wan's words, Qin Haodong looked at Shui Anbang and couldn't help laughing. He didn't expect that the young master of the Shui family had such a beautiful name. Who are you? How do you know my nickname? Shui Anbang looked at Qi Wan in surprise. He was born weak and sick, so the elders gave him such a nickname. According to the older generation, a crooked name was easy to raise. But not many people knew it. He didn't understand how the woman in front of him knew it. Tai Dan, you have grown up now. You don't even know me. Qi Wan said and took 2 steps forward, coming to Shui Anbang. After Shui Anbang looked at her carefully, he looked shocked and cried, You are the young lady? Qi Wan snorted and said, You are not blind. The Shui family's rise in the capital was in the last 20 years. One of the most fundamental reasons was that Qi Wan's mother, Shi Zhishuan, married into the Qi family, and the head of the Shui family, Shui Chang'an, was Shi Zhishuan's cousin. It was because of the relationship with the Qi family, a first-class family in the capital, that the Shui family could rise. Without the support of the Qi family, the Shui family would be nothing at all. Because of this, the Shui family tried their best to curry favor with the Qi family, and Shui Anbang was no exception. Moreover, the woman in front of him was the daughter of the head of the Shui family. As long as Qi Wan said a word, Shui Chang'an would immediately break his legs. After recognizing Qi Wan's identity, he quickly stepped forward and said, Don't be angry, young lady. I didn't recognize you for a while when you took off your veil. At the same time, he was very curious. It was said that Qi Wan had an incurable disease, but now she looked completely cured, and there was no sign of illness. Qi Wan looked at him coldly and said, Tai Dan, you are so capable now. You dare to come to Jiangnan City to steal my boss's woman. Do you want me to call my uncle now? Shui Anbang trembled with fear and quickly cried, No, please don't. Shui Chang'an had 5 sons, and he was not the only heir. If Qi Wan directly called Shui Chang'an, the impact would be absolutely huge. Not to mention inheriting the throne of the family in the future, he might be driven out of the Shui family. Young lady, I was wrong. I really didn't know the relationship between this gentleman and you. Otherwise, I wouldn't have dared to do it. He still didn't know what the relationship between Qin Haodong and Qi Wan was. How could the young lady of the Qi family have a boss? But he also saw that Qin Haodong had a very high position in Qi Wan's mind, which was far from what he could compare with. Qi Wan said, What's the use of telling me? If you know you're wrong, apologize to my boss quickly. Hey! Apologize at once. Shui Anbang turned around and bowed to Qin Haodong. I'm sorry, Mr. Qin. Please forgive me this time. You have no sincerity at all. Do you want to die? Qi Wan shouted angrily. Shui Anbang knelt in front of Qin Haodong, raised his hand and slapped his mouth. I'm sorry, Mr. Qin. I'm not a human being. I'm a beast. Please let me go. At the moment when he saw Qi Wan, Qin Haodong suddenly remembered that he had promised to eat with her, and suddenly felt extremely embarrassed. Since Shui Anbang was an acquaintance of Qi Wan, he no longer pursued it. He waved his hand and said, Get out of here. Don't come to Jiangnan again. Yes. 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 Thank you, Mr. Qin. I won't come again. After Shui Anbang finished speaking, he stood up from the ground, bowed to Qi Wan, and said, Young lady, Mr. Qin has forgiven me. Do you think you should not tell my father about this? I don't care about your family's business. Get out of here. Qi Wan waved her hand. Shui Anbang, as if he had been pardoned, quickly left the restaurant with 2 bodyguards. After going out, he took a long breath and turned to the 2 bodyguards and said, after going back, "This must be kept a secret. Do you remember? The Shui family depended on the Qi family to survive. They had to look at the Qi family's face for everything. If the Shui family knew that he had offended the young lady of the Qi family, he would certainly not have a good life in the future." "Yes, young master, we'll remember." The 2 bodyguards had just been beaten by Qi Wan. Naturally, they did not want to mention this matter. In the private room, Qin Haodong said to Qi Wan, "Little girl, you are very powerful. Why is Shui Anbang so afraid of you? Why does he call you young lady? Don't worry about it. Remember that you owe me a meal. If you dare to stand me up next time, I will make you pay." Qi Wan waved her fist to Qin Haodong and left the restaurant. Lin Momo and Qin Haodong returned to her president's office and asked, "Now can you tell me what happened today?" Qin Haodong told her what had happened from beginning to end. Lin Momo sighed and said with a lost face, "I didn't expect that for such a president position, my uncle's family would become like this. I really should go to my grandfather and tell him to give up the position of president directly. It's useless. Can your grandfather give the whole group to such a family to manage?" Lin Momo was silent. It was true. The old man, Lin Xiaotian, had already seen through Lin Pingchao's character. Otherwise, he would have passed on the position of president to him. After a while, she said, "Since you already knew it, why didn't you tell me earlier?" "Let's not go." Qin Haodong said, "For people like them, even if you don't go today, they will do worse things in the future. It's better to solve the problem once and for all. Now you have taught that woman a lesson and driven Shui Anbang away. Isn't it good?" Lin Momo asked, "By the way, what happened to my second aunt? Did you do it?" Qin Haodong spread his hands and said, "What do you mean I did it? She asked for it. I just exchanged your glass with hers. Forget it. Let bygones be bygones. I hope that through this matter, my uncle's family can learn a lesson and don't make any more trouble in the future." As soon as Lin Momo finished speaking, the door opened. An Bairu came in from the outside and said, "President, someone from the purchasing department just said that the raw jade stones in our warehouse have been out of stock and we need to replenish them." Chapter 154. Lin Momo also said, "Yes, have you checked it to see if there is any problem?" In the past few days, Lin Zhigao and his son had been playing dirty tricks behind her back. She was afraid that it was another trick played by Lin Pingchao. Han Bairu said, "I have gone to the purchasing department and made a detailed investigation. There are some raw gemstones in stock, but they are all low-end jade. The high-end jade has been out of stock. According to the company's original plan, after the jade exhibition, we were going to use the funds to buy a large number of raw gemstones in Burma to supplement the supply. But now the jade gang suddenly stopped selling to us, so the original plan could not be implemented. Now the situation is very serious. If we don't supply the high-end jade products of Lin's group in time, the sales will be interrupted, which will affect the overall image and reputation of our group. It's really a bit troublesome." Lin Momo turned to look at Qin Haodong and said, "Now we can only use the goods in your hands." Qin Haodong said, "No problem. Now find me 10 stone-cutting masters and enough stone-cutting machines. Send them to Daddy Security Company immediately. I will provide you with sufficient supplies tomorrow. At that time, you can ask the purchasing department to talk to Nalan Wushuang. That's easy. You go first. I'll bring people later." Lin Momo asked Qin Haodong to go to Daddy Security Company first to prepare, and she began to mobilize the resources of the group. A large group mainly in the jade industry, Lin's group naturally had all kinds of cutting machines, including all kinds of models. There were also many stone-cutting masters. Lin Momo personally selected 10 of the best skills and brought them to Daddy Security Company. Pi Qin Haodong was ready. He asked Zhang Tiniu to take people to guard the whole company and forbid any outsiders from entering. Then he took Lin Momo and 10 stone-cutting masters into the spacious underground warehouse. These stone-cutting masters were temporarily summoned, and they didn't know what to do. When they entered the warehouse and saw the raw gemstones, they were slightly surprised. They didn't understand why the stock of Lin's group was placed here. Lin Momo said to them, "From now on, you all listen to Qin Haodong's unified command and do whatever he tells you to do." Qin Haodong pointed to these raw stones and said, "Everyone, your task now is to cut out all the jade in these stones. To tell you the truth, each of these raw stones contains valuable jade. You must be careful when cutting them. Don't break them." After listening to his words, a bearded stone-cutting master in his 50s said, "Mr. Qin, you can rest assured about the stone-cutting skills. We are all masters in this field. We will definitely not do anything that will lose our skills, but it's not realistic to say that there's jade in all these raw gemstones. I've dealt with raw gemstones for more than half of my life, and I've never heard of anyone who can see if there's jade in the raw gemstones." Qin Haodong said, "You don't have to doubt that. Just do as I say. As long as these stones are cut, everyone will be rewarded with 10,000 yuan, the saying goes, there will be brave men with high rewards." This sentence also applies to the stone-cutting industry. Originally, Master Zhang wanted to say something, but after hearing Qin Haodong's reward, he immediately waved his hand and said to the other workers, "Brothers, let's get to work. Since Mr. Qin has offered such a high price, we should make craftsmanship worthy of this reward." Hearing that there would be a reward of 10,000 yuan after they finished the work, the others were also very excited. They all started to operate the stone-cutting machine and entered the working state. For a moment, the friction between the machine and the stone in the warehouse was deafening, and smoke and dust were everywhere. Lin Momo pulled Qin Haodong aside and said, "Haodong, you told them the secret of these raw gemstones. Won't there be trouble?" Qin Haodong said, "Even if I don't tell them, they will find out the secret after cutting the raw gemstones. It's better to tell them early so that they can be more careful when they work. These jade are very valuable. If they are cut and damaged, the loss will be great." Lin Momo said, "What you said does make sense, but what if they go out and talk nonsense? Although these people are employees of the group, I can't guarantee that they can keep the secret 100%. Qin Haodong smiled confidently and said, "Don't worry, I have a way." This time, there was an exclamation next to him, "Oh my God, look, there's jade in my first stone, and it's of the glutinous rice type. This is also my first stone, and there's jade in it. It looks like the jade of the ice type. Be careful, there's jade in my stone, and the quality is very good. Don't cut it and damage it." Qin Haodong had already said that these stones were carefully selected from the raw gemstones of the Feng family, and each of them was of high quality. But it was one thing to hear it, and another thing to see it with his own eyes. Seeing that there was jade in the raw gemstones one after another, Lin Momo looked at Qin Haodong and said, "I really don't know how you chose them. If Feng Tianda saw this, he would vomit blood." Don't worry about that. I have a special ability, and I can tell if there are good things inside at a glance." Qin Haodong took her hand and walked to the pile of raw gemstones. "Let's find a stone to play with." Although these raw gemstones were all carefully selected by him, there was one that was the best of the best, and he was most optimistic about it. The spiritual qi in it was frighteningly rich, so he wanted to cut it and see what kind of treasure it was. The stone was more than 1 meter high and 60 or 70 centimeters wide, and it seemed to weigh at least 300 kilograms. But Qin Haodong didn't ask anyone else for help, and he moved it to the cutting machine with his own hands, and it looked very easy. He asked Lin Momo to stand aside, and then he began to cut the stone with the cutting machine. With the powerful perception of the spirit, Qin Haodong's cutting speed was much faster than those experienced stone cutters. Soon, a touch of bright yellow flashed from the cutting surface. Pi Qin Haodong picked up the basin next to him and poured water on the stone to wash off the powder. A bright color came into his eyes. It was a kind of bright yellow, which looked like oil, giving people a delicate and fragrant feeling. Yellow jade, oh my God, it's yellow jade. Lin Momo screamed in surprise. What? Is yellow jade very precious? Isn't it said that all jade is green? Pi Qin Haodong completely relied on the spiritual qi to distinguish raw gemstones, and he didn't know much about the basic knowledge of jade. In his original impression, the greener the jade, the better. It's not like that. Lin Momo shook her head, calmed down, and then said, the reason why people like green jade is completely influenced by the last old woman of the Qin dynasty in the early years. Later, there was also the First Lady of the Republic of China. She was also very fond of green jadeite, which caused people to form the view that green was the most important. It led to the misunderstanding that green was good. Many people thought that the greener the jadeite, the better it was. This led people to ignore that green jade also had pure color and mixed color, and the value was also high and low. Some people didn't even know that there was red and yellow jade. Green was almost synonymous with jade. In fact, red and yellow jade were much rarer than green jade. The formation of yellow jade must be in the process of its formation, there must be the secondary mineral limonite next to it, and then, after countless years of erosion and fusion, it can form this unique color. Different from red, blue, purple, and green jade, the best yellow jade is even rarer. After taking a breath, Lin Momo continued, but in recent years, with the improvement of people's appreciation ability and taste, red and yellow jades have become more and more popular because of their outstanding decorative and personalized features. The characteristics of their warm colors are easy to blend with the skin color of our Wuxia people, so they are more and more recognized by the people who like jade. Although the natural value of jade is lower than that of green jade in the current jade jewelry market, it is only based on the sense of equal quality. High-quality jade is still much more expensive than low-quality green jade. Fact, as early as the ancient times of Wuxia, bright yellow is the exclusive color of the emperor, and yellow is the most precious. In recent years, the retro style is popular in Wuxia. Once the best yellow jade comes out, it will immediately be hyped up at a sky-high price, so there is no yellow jade in circulation in the market at all. Pi Qin Haodong asked, the value of this yellow jade or the king green in the little fellow's hand, which is more expensive? As far as the natural value of jade is concerned, the jade with pure color and good water is more valuable. The golden and translucent yellow jade is a very precious top-grade jade, just like the value of yellow jade exceeds the value of cultivated white jade. The best yellow jade is extremely rare in the market, and it is even more precious and rare than the king green. Pi Qin Haodong said in surprise, so, this jade is more precious than the king green? Lin Momo said, you've only unraveled a little bit, so you can't be sure yet. The specific value can't be known until you completely unravel it. That's easy. I'll let it see the light of day now. Then, Qin Haodong operated the cutting machine and continued to cut the raw jade stone. 10 minutes later, a yellow jade the size of a basketball, weighing about 10 kilograms, was exposed to the air. He cleaned the yellow jade with water, then held it in front of Lin Momo with both hands and asked, how is it? Lin Momo looked shocked. She reached out and gently touched the yellow jade, as if touching a rare treasure. She murmured, the color is bright yellow, and the color is pure. This is the best yellow jade. Pi Qin Haodong had seen many rare treasures. Although this yellow jade was precious, it was just a valuable stone in his eyes. He asked, how much is it worth? Lin Momo came to her senses and said, as far as I know, there has not been such a large piece of the best yellow jade on the market at present, so the price is not sure, but I guess it is at least 200 or 300 million yuan. Pi Qin Haodong smacked his lips and said, now that you mention it, I'm a little reluctant to sell it to Lin's group. How about keeping it as a dowry for my daughter? How old is your daughter? You've already started to prepare a dowry for her. Lin Momo said, Well, sell it to me. Qin Haodong laughed and said, what do you want it for? Do you want it as a dowry when we get married? Who said I'm going to marry you? Lin Momo glared at him coquettishly and said, it's Grandpa's 80th birthday in 3 days. I was worried that I couldn't find a suitable gift. Yellow jade is called Fu Yi in the 3 colors of jadeite, Fu, Lu, and Shou. It means auspiciousness and prosperity, so I want to make it into a decoration for Grandpa as a birthday gift. Qin Haodong said, I see. Then take it. This stone is for you. Lin Momo said gratefully, Haodong, thank you so much. Qin Haodong said, don't thank me. Your grandpa is my grandpa. The most important thing is that this old man is good to you. If it was your bullshit uncle, I wouldn't sell it to him no matter how much money he offered. Chapter 155. After opening this raw stone, Qin Haodong found that the spiritual qi in the other raw stones was much thinner. He lost interest in opening them again and left the warehouse with Lin Momo. He left the warehouse to Zhang Tiniu and told him that no one was allowed to leave the warehouse without his permission and to contact the outside world. Then they got in the car and left the daddy security company. In the car, Lin Momo kept playing with the yellow jade. She liked it very much. Qin Haodong asked, what are you going to carve for Grandpa? It's hard to say. We need a master carver to design a suitable object according to the color, nature and shape of the stone. Qin Haodong said, Lin's group should have a good carver, right? There are more than a dozen carvers in the group. I'll take the jade to them tomorrow. Speaking of this, Lin Momo sighed softly. In fact, the best engraver in Jiangnan is Master Su. It's a pity that he's too hard to find. If he could help, he would definitely make this jade into the best. Qin Haodong asked in surprise, can't Lin's group afford Master Su with its financial resources? Lin Momo said, it's not about money. Master Su has a very strange temper. He doesn't work for any company. He only works at home. He only carves one object every month. The price ranges from hundreds of thousands to millions. It also depends on the quality of the jade. In his words, it must be worthy of his craftsmanship. Is he that pretentious? How good is he? Qin Haodong asked. Of course. In the carving circle in Jiangnan, Master Su is the only one who can be called a master. Even in the whole country, his carving level can definitely be in the top 3. Qin Haodong said, since there is such a master, let's go to him, or it will be a waste of the best jade. Lin Momo said, but Master Su only works on the first 3 days of each month. It's the middle of this month, and Grandpa's 80th birthday is in 3 days. It's too late to wait for next month. Qin Haodong thought for a moment and said, there are exceptions. Tell me Master Su's address, and I'll visit him tomorrow. Maybe he will take the job because I'm handsome. Shameless. Lin Momo rolled her eyes at Qin Haodong, but she still sent Master Su's address to him. You must hurry up and do it tomorrow. If Master Su doesn't agree, we'll have to ask our group sculptor to do it. There are only 3 days left. Time is of the essence. Qin Haodong said, don't worry. I'll handle it. I'll give our grandpa a surprise. The next morning, instead of going to work with Lin Momo, he drove to Master Su's house according to the address given by Lin Momo. This was a very quiet courtyard. Although it didn't look luxurious, it was very elegant. The quaint courtyard matched the title of Master Su very well. After Qin Haodong knocked on the door, a middle-aged woman in her 50s opened the door. She looked disappointed when she saw Qin Haodong and asked, who are you looking for? Does Master Su live here? I want to ask Master Su to carve a piece of jade for me. Qin Haodong asked. The woman didn't say anything. She raised her hand and knocked on the door. Qin Haodong then saw an A4 paper notice on the side. He didn't notice it because the position was not very obvious. It was written on the A4 paper, recently, due to family issues, no business will be accepted. Sister, please help me tell Master Su that I do have a good thing here. It's definitely worth his help. Qin Haodong opened the cloth bag in his hand and showed the top-grade yellow jade to the woman. The woman was Master Su's wife, Li Yu. She had been with Master Su for so many years, so she had a good eye. She could tell that the yellow jade was extraordinary at first glance. However, she sighed and said helplessly, "Young man, to tell you the truth, some bad things have happened to our family recently. If it was in the past, old Su would definitely be able to accept the good material in your hands. However, it's really not possible now. You'd better find someone else." Seeing the woman's gloomy face, Qin Haodong knew that she was telling the truth. Since Li Yu had something to do, he couldn't force her. Thinking of this, he said goodbye to Li Yu and turned around to leave. At this time, a black Audi A6 came from afar and finally stopped in front of Master Su's house. As the door opened, an old man in a robe came out with a medicine box. It was Gao Fengwen, the traditional Chinese medicine expert whom Qin Haodong had met a few days ago. "Mr. Gao, you're here. Master Su and I have been waiting for you." Seeing Gao Fengwen, Li Yu immediately greeted him warmly. Gao Fengwen nodded to Li Yu and saw Qin Haodong standing next to her. He hurried forward and said, "Medical sage, why are you here? Did Master Su also invite you to see him?" "No, I have a good material in my hand. I came to ask Master Su for help. But Master Su has something to do, so I'm going back now." Speaking of this, Qin Haodong's heart skipped a beat. It turned out that Li Yu just said that there was something to do at home. If that was the case, there would be a great chance for things to turn around. In this world, there were few diseases that he couldn't cure. As expected, Gao Fengwen hurriedly said, "Medical sage, since you're here, please come with me. If I can't cure the disease, I'll have to trouble you." He completely admired Qin Haodong's medical skills from the bottom of his heart. Although he was refused to be Qin Haodong's apprentice, he was still very respectful to Qin Haodong and always used honorifics when talking to him. Li Yu was stunned. Her family had been friends with Gao Fengwen for generations, so she knew Gao Fengwen's medical skills very well. Gao Fengwen was definitely a leading figure in the traditional Chinese medicine circle in the south of the Yangtze River. His status was no less than that of Master Su in the carving industry. However, such a person was so respectful to the young man in front of her and even called him medical sage. Who on earth was this young man? As if seeing Li Yu's doubts, Gao Fengwen said to her, "This is Dr. Qin Haodong, the medical sage of the traditional Chinese medicine circle in the south of the Yangtze River. His medical skills are definitely 100 times better than mine. As long as he's here, Xiaolong's disease will be guaranteed to be fine." If someone else said that the young man in front of her was the medical sage, Li Yu would not believe it. However, she firmly believed Gao Fengwen's words. She hurriedly stepped forward and said, "Dr. Qin, please help me. Please help my son." "Sure." Qin Haodong had always been keen on curing diseases and saving people, so he directly agreed. He asked, "What disease does your son have?" Li Yu sighed and said, "Xiaolong has been in good health since he was a child. However, some time ago, he went to Africa with his friends and came back with a strange disease. He has a high fever. We've visited all the major hospitals, but they couldn't find any cause. In the end, there was no other way. Old Su said he wanted to try traditional Chinese medicine, so we took the child home and asked Mr. Gao to treat him. Lead the way. Let's see the patient's situation." Qin Haodong followed Li Yu into the yard and into a bedroom. The bedroom was very spacious. A young man in his 20s was lying on the bed. His face was pale and sickly. He was in a coma at the moment. A middle-aged man in his 50s was sitting at the head of the bed. At the moment, he was stooping with a sad face. He was Su Haichuan, the master of carving in Jiangnan. The sick man on the bed was his son, Su Xiaolong. Seeing Gao Fengwen enter the room, Su Haichuan hurriedly got up to greet him. However, when he saw Qin Haodong walking in front of Gao Fengwen, he could not help but frown slightly. In his opinion, Qin Haodong should be Gao Fengwen's apprentice. However, this apprentice swaggered in front of his master, which was too unruly. However, at this time, he had no time to care so much. He stepped forward and grabbed Gao Fengwen's hand and said, "Brother, please take a look at Xiaolong. He is our only son. You must save him." Gao Fengwen looked back at Qin Haodong awkwardly. Qin Haodong waved his hand, indicating that he did not care. Seeing that Qin Haodong did not care, Gao Fengwen went directly to Su Xiaolong's bed and began to feel his pulse. He also wanted to see what kind of difficult disease Su Xiaolong had. If he could cure it, it would be fine. If not, he wanted to know the disease, so that he could learn when Qin Haodong treated him. As time went by, Gao Fengwen's eyebrows became tighter and tighter. This time, it took him 5 minutes to feel the pulse, and he slowly withdrew his right hand. "Brother, how is Xiaolong's disease? Is there any way?" Su Haichuan asked nervously. Gao Fengwen frowned and said, "Xiaolong's internal organs have been damaged, but his pulse is strange. I can't see the cause at all." At this point, he paused for a moment, then said, "I have read in an ancient book that this kind of pulse should be caused by an insect disease, but there is no record of how to treat this insect disease. This old man is also powerless." Seeing that Gao Fengwen could do nothing, Su Haichuan squatted on the chair, his eyes full of despair and sadness. Even though he was a famous carving master in the south of the Yangtze River, even though he was rich, he could not bear the pain of seeing his son die. Gao Fengwen said, "Brother, don't worry. I'm just trying. Although I can't do anything about Xiaolong's disease, he will be cured with the medical sage." Medical sage? Su Haichuan's eyes regained some luster, but he did not understand what Gao Fengwen meant. He looked at him in confusion. Gao Fengwen turned to Qin Haodong and said, "Medical sage, I can't do anything about this disease. Please take a look at it." Su Haichuan was even more shocked. He did not expect that this young man was not an apprentice, but the medical sage that Gao Fengwen mentioned. Qin Haodong stepped to Su Xiaolong's bed and put his hand on his pulse. A wisp of green with genuine qi entered Su Xiaolong's body along his meridians. The green with genuine qi was like his eyes. After a dozen seconds, he saw through Su Xiaolong's physical condition. Gao Fengwen was right. The cause of Su Xiaolong's disease was indeed insect disease. At the moment, his liver and lungs were full of small white insects. They were breeding and ovulating inside, which had caused great damage to his internal organs, which was the reason why he was in a coma. This kind of insects was very strange. They were rooted in the internal organs and did not dissolve in the blood. In addition, they were very small, so the hospital could not detect their existence whether it was X-ray examination or blood test. Although Su Haichuan did not know Qin Haodong, he still asked with hope, "Little brother, how is my son's disease? Can he be saved?" Chapter 156. Hearing that his son only had 3 days left to live, Su Haichuan knelt down in front of Qin Haodong and begged, "Dr. Qin, please save my son. As long as you can cure him, you can ask for as much money as you want. I'll even go bankrupt." Li Yu also knelt down beside Su Haichuan and begged, "Yes, Dr. Qin, as long as you can save my son, I'll work for you for the rest of my life, not to mention asking my husband to carve that piece of yellow jade for you." Qin Haodong quickly helped them up and said, "That's a different matter. I'll treat the patient first, and we'll talk about the rest later. Dr. Qin, my son is in your hands." Although Su Haichuan and his wife stood up from the ground, they still looked at Qin Haodong pitifully. Qin Haodong said, "Don't worry, your son will be fine as long as I'm here. Gao Fengwen said, medical sage, we don't have a good way to treat this kind of parasite disease. How are you going to start? He looked extremely respectful, like a pupil who was humbly asking for advice. Qin Haodong said, our traditional Chinese medicine pays attention to the right medicine, and it's the same for treating these parasites. Gao Fengwen asked again, medical sage, how can we treat this kind of parasite disease? The parasites in the patient's body are hermaphrodites, and they like to lay eggs in places with higher temperatures. Although people are warm-blooded animals, the temperature of different parts of the body is still slightly different. This parasite is sensitive to temperature, so it will drill into the internal organs and breed in places with higher temperatures. At the same time, the patient has been having a fever, which is also caused by the parasite. When the body temperature rises during the fever, it will promote the parasite to breed faster, forming a vicious cycle. Since this parasite likes high temperatures, we have to lower the patient's temperature to control the parasite's reproduction and completely force it out of the body. After explaining, Qin Haodong took out his mobile phone and called Lin Momo, asking her to send all the ice in the freezer of the canteen of Lin's group to Su Haichuan's home immediately. It was summer in the south of the Yangtze River, and it was not easy to find too many ice cubes at once. In order to cool down the employees, there were a lot of ice cubes in the canteen of Lin's group. Lin Momo was quite efficient. In less than 10 minutes, Saber and Sword came to Su Haichuan's house with 2 big bags of ice. Qin Haodong asked Saber to take off Su Xiaolong's clothes and carried him into the bathtub in the bathroom. Then he took out a silver needle and pierced it into the acupoint on his chest to protect his heart. After all the preparations were done, Qin Haodong asked Saber to pour the ice into the bathtub. The effect of the ice water was very obvious. 5 minutes later, Su Xiaolong's high temperature had dropped to a normal level. Qin Haodong felt his pulse again and found that the frequency of parasite activity in his body had dropped significantly, and it had stopped reproducing. About 10 minutes later, Su Xiaolong slowly opened his eyes. He was so cold that his lips had turned blue. He was trembling, but he couldn't speak. He could only look at Su Haichuan and his wife with pleading eyes. Obviously, he couldn't bear it anymore. Liu felt sorry for her son and said to Qin Haodong, Dr. Qin, is this okay? Will something happen to him? Don't worry, it's going to be okay. Qin Haodong said and flicked the end of the silver needle a few times. He sent greenwood genuine qi into Su Xiaolong's body to protect his vitality so that he wouldn't die because of the low temperature. Then, a miraculous scene happened. Su Xiaolong's body temperature continued to drop from 39 degrees Celsius to about 20 degrees Celsius. The body temperature of a normal person was constant. The body had an instinctive temperature regulation function, so even in a cold state, the body temperature could be kept constant. It was incredible that Su Xiaolong's body temperature suddenly dropped to more than 20 degrees. As the body temperature continued to drop, it obviously exceeded the temperature range of the parasite's survival, and they began to die one after another. Some of the stronger ones also desperately tried to escape from the cold host's body. In the end, the parasites gathered together and formed a white line. They slowly rushed out of Su Xiaolong's nostrils. However, the temperature outside was obviously lower than inside the body. As soon as they came out, they fell into the ice water and instantly lost their vitality. This situation lasted for more than half an hour. Qin Haodong constantly added greenwood genuine qi to Su Xiaolong to maintain his vitality. Finally, he felt the pulse again to make sure that all the parasites were dead. Then he asked Saber and Sword to carry him out and put him back on the bed. At this moment, Su Xiaolong's lips were blue and black. His breath was almost inaudible. His whole body was like ice, and he looked no different from a dead person. Su Haichuan and his wife asked nervously, Dr. Qin, is Xiaolong okay? Qin Haodong said, all the parasites have been killed. Most of the disease is cured. He'll be fine later. At this time, Gao Fengwen admired Qin Haodong's medical skills even more. He asked, "Medical sage, although these parasites have been removed from the body, the internal organs have been damaged. How should we recover?" "The best way to repair injured human tissues is of course the rejuvenative acupuncture." After that, Qin Haodong took out the needle bag again and began to help Su Xiaolong repair the damaged internal organs with the rejuvenative acupuncture. 10 minutes later, he took back the silver needle and put his right hand on Su Xiaolong's dantian. He used green wood genuine qi to expel all the remaining cold qi from his body. "All right. Get up," Qin Haodong said and patted Su Xiaolong's chest. Under everyone's expectant gaze, Su Xiaolong jumped up from the bed. His face, which was as pale as paper, had regained its rosy color. "Dr. Qin, thank you for saving me." Su Xiaolong knew clearly what had happened outside. He knew that the young man in front of him had saved his life. He jumped out of the bed and knelt in front of Qin Haodong. Seeing their son become lively again, Su Haichuan and his wife were moved to tears. They had suffered too much worry and fear these days. At this time, they also knelt with their son and thanked Qin Haodong profusely. Qin Haodong helped the three people up and said, "Get up. I'm a doctor. It's my duty to treat patients and save people." Seeing that Qin Haodong had cured a patient whom he had been helpless about so quickly, Gao Fengwen said with emotion, "Medical sage, I'm completely convinced by your medical skills. I'm afraid that even Hua Tuo wouldn't be able to do that if he were alive." After that, Su Haichuan and his wife warmly invited Qin Haodong to the living room. They made tea, poured water, served fruit plates, and tried their best to entertain him. After that, Su Haichuan said, "Dr. Qin, thank you for saving my son. Just tell me how much you want. As long as I can afford it, I won't say no." He said this with full confidence. On the one hand, he wanted to thank Qin Haodong for saving his life. On the other hand, as a carving master, he was indeed very rich. Qin Haodong took his cloth bag and said, "As long as Master Su carves this for me, you can treat it as the medical fee." Su Haichuan's eyes lit up when he saw the yellow jade in the cloth bag. He took it excitedly and said, "I've carved jade for so many years, but I've never seen such a good quality yellow jade. It's really the best." The reason why he could become a master was that he had never regarded carving as a way to make money, but as an artistic pursuit. At this time, he was immediately fascinated by this superb yellow jade. "Master Su, I want to give this jade as a birthday gift in 3 days. I need your help to design it." 3 days? That's a little tight. Su Haichuan thought about it and said, "But don't worry. I'll finish it even if I don't sleep." Qin Haodong discussed the details of the carving with Su Haichuan. After the final plan was finalized, he left with the long knife and the sharp sword. Back in the president's office, Lin Momo asked, "Did you see Master Su? How's it going?" "Of course. I'll give you a satisfactory birthday gift in 3 days." "Really? You're not lying to me, are you?" Lin Momo said incredulously. "Of course. I've done it in person. How could Master Su not give me face? How much is the carving fee?" 3 days is too tight. It must cost a lot of money, right? I didn't spend a penny." Qin Haodong smiled and said, "Master Su said I'm too handsome, so it's completely free." Lin Momo glared at him and said, "You're not serious." "I'm serious. I'm also serious. Master Su didn't ask me for money. It's completely free." Qin Haodong told her how he had cured Su Xiaolong from beginning to end. Only then did Lin Momo believe him. After the birthday gift was settled, Qin Haodong left Lin's group and returned to Daddy Security Company. After a busy night, the 10 stonecutters finally finished processing all the raw stones in the warehouse. The cut jade was piled up in the warehouse, and the quality was very good. Almost every piece would be worth more than 1,000,000 yuan. Qin Haodong nodded with satisfaction. According to the previous agreement, he gave each stonecutters a red packet of 10,000 yuan. However, in the process of giving out the red packets, he erased all the memories of these people with mind manipulating. After the 10 stonecutters left Daddy Security Company, they only remembered that they came here once, and no other memories were kept. After all the raw jade stones were cut out, Qin Haodong didn't sell them all at once. In order to prevent accidents, he only sold 20% of them. He asked Naylan Wushuang to negotiate with the purchasing department of Lin's group, and finally made a deal at the price of 200 million yuan. After the transaction was completed, Qin Haodong looked at the long number in his bank account and sighed with emotion. 2 days ago, he was worried about the startup capital of 200 million yuan, but in just a few days, it had doubled. He didn't have much use for the money in his hand, so he directly transferred 400 million to Ma Wenjue. Since he was going to start a business in Shanghai, he should do it big. In Lin's house, Lin Zhigao sat on the sofa in the living room listlessly. His whole body was like noodles, without any strength. He had taken Qin Haodong's physique-improving pill. Otherwise, he would have been drained by Zhang Xiuying after last night's torment. It was Zhang Xiuying's fault. She put 3 times the amount of drug in Lin Momo's wine glass, and she couldn't ask for help after drinking that glass of wine. As a result, Lin Zhigao was in a miserable situation. Next to Lin Zhigao, Zhang Xiuying was crying with snot and tears. At this moment, she had become an internet celebrity. The video and photos of her striptease in public yesterday had been posted all over the internet. You could see it on any website. That's enough, Mom. Don't cry. Nothing serious happened. Lin Pingchao said with annoyance. Chapter 157. Lin Pingchao's face was so gloomy that it was scary. He had a good plan for Lin Momo, but Qin Haodong came out of nowhere and made his plan fail. Although his heart was full of hatred, he did not lose his mind. He asked, "Did you get in touch with Shui Anbang?" Normally, with the strength of the Shui family in the capital and Shui Anbang's character, even without their help, they should have done something to Lin Momo. However, after it happened, Shui Anbang seemed to evaporate in the air, and there was no more news, which made him feel very strange. I got in touch, but he only said one sentence. He asked me not to bother him anymore, and then he hung up the phone. Speaking of this, Zhang Xiuying angrily scolded, "What a heartless white-eyed wolf. He turned his back on us. It's not the time to ask us to help him." Lin Pingchao turned around twice on the ground, full of doubts. Shui Anbang's reaction was absolutely abnormal, but he could not figure out what had happened. But he had a hunch that it must have something to do with Qin Haodong. No, Qin Haodong was a stumbling block. He must be removed, or he could not touch Lin Momo at all. Zhang Xiuying said, "Son, you are so smart. You must help me get revenge. Find a way to deal with Qin Haodong." "Don't worry, Mom, I'll find a way," Lin Pingchao said. At this time, Lin Zhigao, who had been silent all the time, said, "Son, it will be your grandpa's 80th birthday in 3 days. You must deal with Qin Haodong before that, or he will make some trouble." Lin Pingchao said gloomily, "I know, I won't let him live well." The next morning, Lin's group went to work as usual. Lin Pingchao stepped to the Human Resources Department and went directly into the office of the Deputy Minister, Guo Xiaomei. "Io, Brother Pingchao, what brings you here?" As soon as he entered the door, a coquettish woman came up to him. She not only took Lin Pingchao's arm, but also showed her deep cleavage in front of him. This woman was Guo Xiaomei. She was in her early 30s, but she liked to pretend to be young, and called Lin Pingchao brother. She was somewhat beautiful, and her ability to please men was first class. She was also one of Zhao Zhongchen's lovers. Zhao was fascinated by this woman. He tried his best for her, and with the help of Lin Zhigao and his son, Guo Xiaomei became the deputy minister of the Human Resources Department. Nothing, I just came to have a look. Lin Pingchao said, shaking off Guo Xiaomei's arm without a trace. Although he was lecherous, he was not interested in such a slut. He sat on the sofa and asked, Xiaomei, how's work? Is it? Guo Xiaomei sat next to Lin Pingchao again, and said in a sweet voice, thanks for your concern, brother Pingchao. Xiaomei, Guo's eyes lit. Guo. Guo Xiaomei. Guo, Lin. She, Pingchao, and Guo was the deputy minister. Ha, Lin, ha ha, and Pingchao. The deputy minister was just an empty shell. She had no power, so she had been coveting the position of minister for a long time. Lin Pingchao looked at her and said, as long as you do one thing for me, I'll make you the minister in a few days. You know, I'm the only grandson of the old man. I'll be the president in the future. Of course. Everyone knows you're much better than Lin Momo. You'll be the president of the group sooner or later. After flattering him, Guo Xiaomei asked, Pingchao, what do you need me to do? As long as you say the word, no matter if it's a mountain of swords or a sea of flames, this little sister will do it for you. Lin Pingchao said, you're one of us. I won't hide anything from you. There's a healthcare doctor called Qin Haodong in the group. He's annoying, and I don't like him. As long as you can make him stay there for a few days, the position of the Human Resources Department will be yours. That's easy. It's just a little doctor. I'm good at this kind of thing. And my cousin just became the deputy captain of the crime squad these days. As long as I say the word, I can make this guy stay there for a year or half a year. Guo Xiaomei looked excited. But she suddenly realized something when she was halfway through. She asked, Brother Pingchao, do you think this man is the president's boyfriend? Since the last meeting of the board of directors, the relationship between Lin Momo and Qin Haodong had been publicly reported by the media. It was no longer a secret in the whole group. Yes, he's the one. That's not good, is it? Guo Xiaomei was still a little scared. What? Do you expect Lin Momo to promote you to be the minister? Lin Pingchao said, don't forget, you're with us and manager Zhao. No matter how you please Lin Momo, she'll see you as a thorn in her side. And it won't be long before I become the president. Why do you care about her? Guo Xiaomei hesitated for a moment. It was true. She could only rely on Lin Pingchao now. She couldn't count on Lin Momo. Thinking of this, she said, well, I'll do it. Don't forget your promise. Don't worry. I always keep my word. As long as you do it well, I'll definitely arrange you to be the minister. Lin Pingchao didn't stay any longer. He left Guo Xiaomei's office with a sneer on his face. He knew Guo Xiaomei very well. This woman had climbed into many men's bed with her body. She had a deep relationship with both the police and the underworld. So Guo Xiaomei was the most suitable person to mess with Qin Haodong. Even if she failed, it wouldn't affect him too much. He was the most insidious person. Although he hated Qin Haodong to the extreme, he wouldn't confront him until the last moment. After seeing Lin Pingchao off, Guo Xiaomei thought about it. The best way to send Qin Haodong to prison was to seduce him, and then ruin his reputation in the whole group. Then she would complain to her cousin. That way, Qin Haodong could stay in prison for at least 2 or 3 years. Thinking of this, Guo Xiaomei left the office and rushed to the infirmary. Qin Haodong was chatting with Zhang Jijia in the office after he went to work. Since the relationship between him and Lin Momo was made public in the group, no female staff dared to harass him. No one dared to steal the president's woman. Even if there were a few people who came to see the doctor, they left after seeing the patient. So the infirmary suddenly became empty. Zhang Jijie was in good health since he took Qin Haodong's physique-improving pill. He was full of gratitude and respect for Qin Haodong. He came to the office early every day and prepared tea and fruit plates for him. After chatting with Zhang Jijie for a while, Qin Haodong's phone rang. He took a look and found it was Nalan Wuxia. After answering the phone, he asked, "Officer, is there another case?" "Who said that? Can't I call you if there is no case?" Nalan Wuxia said with a little dissatisfaction, "I'm off duty today. I'll treat you to lunch at noon. Do you have time? It's rare for Captain Nalan to treat me, but it's still a little early. I can't just leave work. Besides, the restaurant hasn't opened yet." Nalan Wuxia said, "Then I'll go to you. We'll leave together at noon." "Okay, I'm in the infirmary of Lin's group. Just come here." Guo Xiaomei thought about her plan in front of the infirmary, then pushed the door and walked in. At this time, Qin Haodong just hung up the phone. Relying on Zhao Zhongchen and Lin Zhigao, she was used to being arrogant in the group. She strode to Qin Haodong and Zhang Jijie, raised her chin and asked, "Who is Qin Haodong?" "I am." Qin Haodong keenly felt a hostility from this woman. He looked at her and said, "Big sister, what can I do for you?" "What? Who are you calling big sister?" Women always paid attention to their age, especially women like Guo Xiaomei who depended on their looks. So Qin Haodong's words seemed to hit her nerve. She immediately opened her eyes wide and shouted, "Sorry, I shouldn't have called you big sister." Qin Haodong looked at Guo Xiaomei and said very seriously, "Hello, miss." Puff. Zhang Jijie just drank a mouthful of jasmine tea. After hearing Qin Haodong's words, he couldn't help but spit it all on Guo Xiaomei. But the position was a little too awkward. It just sprayed under Guo Xiaomei's lower abdomen. She looked like she had peed in her dress. The funniest thing was that there was a golden jasmine flower right there. Guo Xiaomei immediately screamed, "Asshole, my dress was made by a French designer. It's more than 10,000 yuan. You pay me." Zhang Jijie always behaved with his tail between his legs in the company. He didn't dare to offend anyone. Moreover, Guo Xiaomei was the deputy director of the Human Resources Department. There were many people above her, so he always fawned on her. Now he was scared when he heard the dress was more than 10,000 yuan. His monthly salary was only a few thousand yuan. It would take him 2 or 3 months to pay for it even if he didn't eat or drink. Qin Haodong said carelessly, "A dress is more than 10,000 yuan. Are you blackmailing me? You can tell whoever you want. We won't keep you company." Guo Xiaomei was furious, but she suddenly remembered the purpose of her visit today. She wanted to frame Qin Haodong for molesting her, but she didn't expect that she would be led into a ditch after a few words, and now she was like this. She took a deep breath and calmed down. Then she said to Zhang Jijie, "You, get out. Didn't you ask me to pay for the dress? Why did you ask me to get out?" Zhang Jijie asked in surprise. "You get out. I don't need you to pay for it." Guo Xiaomei knew what was important and what was not. Besides, the dress she was wearing was a fake one that she bought on Taobao for a few hundred yuan. The price of more than 10,000 was just for show. "Well, I'm out. You guys talk." Zhang Jijie turned around and was about to leave. "Wait." Qin Haodong stopped him and said, "Dr. Zhang, you'd better stay. If there are only 2 of us, my reputation will be damaged if there is a scandal." Guo Xiaomei screamed like a cat whose tail was stepped on after he said that. "What did you say?" "I'm a woman. I'm the one who will suffer losses, okay?" Qin Haodong shook his head and said disdainfully, "There are many kinds of women. A woman like you will affect my reputation if I'm with you." He wasn't joking. He felt the breath of at least a dozen men on Guo Xiaomei since he entered the door. Needless to say, he knew how messy the woman's private life was. "You, Guo Xiaomei was angry, but she couldn't do anything to Qin Haodong. She turned around and said to Zhang Jijie, "Are you going out or not? You have to pay for my dress. I'd better stay for Dr. Qin's innocence." Chapter 158. Guo Xiaomei didn't expect that Zhang Jijie would choose to stand with Qin Haodong. She said angrily, "Fatty Zhang, how dare you not listen to me? Believe it or not, I'll kick you out tomorrow." Since he had made the choice, Zhang Jijie was still very firm. He said, "I can't leave if Dr. Qin doesn't let me." "Well, Fatty Zhang, you don't want to leave, do you? Just wait for me." Guo Xiaomei was so angry that she gritted her teeth, but there was nothing she could do. She turned to Qin Haodong and said, "I don't feel well. Give me a massage." She had made up her mind that as long as Qin Haodong's hands were on her body, she would immediately cry out that Qin Haodong was molesting her. Although Fatty Zhang was in front of her, her cousin was the deputy captain of the crime squad. He would definitely help her. But Qin Haodong seemed to see through her mind. He said very directly, "Who are you? Why should I do it when you want me to?" Guo Xiaomei almost choked and cried, You are the healthcare doctor of the group, and I am an employee of the group. Shouldn't you give me a massage? I'm the healthcare doctor, yes, but not everyone can give me a massage." Qin Haodong looked at Guo Xiaomei from head to toe, and said with disdain, "Your eyelids are cut, the corners of your eyes are open, the bridge of your nose is raised, your lips are tattooed, your breasts are big, but they are all silicone, and your butt is padded. You want me to give you a massage with your fake body? What if I break it? You want me to pay for it? Do you think I'm stupid? Bastard, I'm going to kill you." Seeing that Qin Haodong exposed all her secrets, Guo Xiaomei couldn't control her emotions anymore. She rushed to him like a crazy woman. Qin Haodong couldn't let such a crazy woman touch him. He flicked a melon seed in his hand on Guo Xiaomei's knee. Guo Xiaomei felt her knee was weak and she lost her balance. She fell face down. Because she rushed too fast, the fall was hard enough. When she got up again, her face was covered with blood. Her raised nose was crooked, and 2 teeth were out. She looked like a devil. "Bastard, just you wait. I won't forgive you." Although she didn't even touch Qin Haodong's clothes, she had achieved her goal of self-harm. She took out a mobile phone from her bag and quickly dialed a number. "Cousin. Come to Lin's group. I'm about to be beaten to death." Guo Xiaomei cried as she spoke. She felt so wronged. Her tears streamed down the thick makeup on her face. Her tears mixed with the nosebleed, which made her look even scarier. After the phone call, he shouted at Qin Haodong with a ferocious face, "Bastard, just you wait. My cousin is here. He will never spare you." Just then, the door opened and Nalan Wuxia, who was dressed in casual clothes, came in. She took off her uniform today and wore a long white dress, which made her look extraordinarily tall. Her fresh and elegant makeup made her look simple and elegant. Qin Haodong was slightly stunned when he saw her. Since he knew Nalan Wuxia, she had always been wearing a uniform. Today, after changing her clothes, she showed a completely different style. Nalan Wuxia looked at Guo Xiaomei who was sitting on the ground and crying. She asked in surprise, "Haodong, what's going on?" Qin Haodong said, "This woman wanted to blackmail me for a massage. Fortunately, I was smart and didn't fall for it. She hurt herself like this." Nalan Wuxia glanced at the miserable Guo Xiaomei and said, "You're so badly hurt. You'd better go to the hospital now. Don't waste your time here. It's none of your business. You're with them." "Vixen, bitch, bitch." Guo Xiaomei saw that Qin Haodong and Nalan Wuxia were very close. Plus she was jealous of Nalan Wuxia's appearance. She suddenly became like a mad dog, spitting out dirty words and saliva. Nalan Wuxia didn't expect that her kindness was misunderstood. She was the young lady of the Nalan family, famous for her hot temper. Even the rich young masters in Jiangnan City didn't dare to mess with her. She would never tolerate Guo Xiaomei, who was a shrew. She suddenly went berserk. Guo Xiaomei was enjoying her scolding. Then she heard Nalan Wuxia's heavy slap on her face. Before she came to herself, punches and kicks poured down like raindrops. She was beaten until she cried and rolled on the ground. Qin Haodong was secretly amused. Of all people, this woman dared to mess with Nalan Wuxia, the female Tyrannosaurus. Wasn't she looking for death? Zhang Jijie was so surprised that he opened his mouth wide. He just saw Nalan Wuxia was like a noble goddess, but in the blink of an eye, she turned into a female Tyrannosaurus and beat the shrew Guo Xiaomei like a dog. At this moment, the door opened again and several uniformed policemen rushed in. The young policeman in the lead shouted, "Who has the guts to bully my cousin?" The young policeman's name was Li Hongjun. He used to work in another branch. This time, after Nalan Wuxia was promoted to captain, there was a vacant position for the deputy captain. He tried his best and used a lot of connections to finally become the deputy captain of the crime squad. His relationship with Guo Xiaomei was completely built in bed. He just received a call that Guo Xiaomei was bullied, so he immediately came to support her. He didn't expect to see such a scene as soon as he came in. At this time, Nalan Wuxia was also tired. She stood up and went to the basin next to her to wash her hands. Guo Xiaomei was completely stunned. At this time, her face was colorful and swollen like a pig's head. She looked around for a long time before she found Li Hongjun standing at the door. She rushed to him and shouted, "Cousin, this crazy woman beat me. You must help me. Take them in and sentence them to death." Li Hongjun was startled. He took 2 steps back and asked, "Who are you?" "Cousin, don't you know me? I'm Guo Xiaomei. That damn woman beat me like this. You have to avenge me." After saying that, Li Hongjun barely recognized that the pig-headed woman in front of him was Guo Xiaomei. Seeing his lover beaten like this, he waved his hand and shouted to the 2 policemen behind him, "Arrest that woman." What made him most angry was that the woman in white didn't take the police seriously after beating Guo Xiaomei. She even slowly washed her hands. That was too arrogant. The 2 policemen answered and came to Nalan Wuxia with handcuffs. At this time, Nalan Wuxia had dried her hands. She raised her hand and tidied her hair. She turned her head and said, "Who wants to arrest me?" When the policemen saw Nalan Wuxia, they were so scared that their hands trembled. The handcuffs fell to the ground. They never thought that they were going to arrest the captain. "What's going on? What are you doing? Didn't you have breakfast this morning?" Li Hongjun scolded the 2 policemen. But at this time, he also saw Nalan Wuxia turned around. He was so surprised that he opened his mouth wide and stammered, "Captain. Captain, why are you here?" No wonder he was so shocked. Nalan Wuxia was not only his immediate superior, but also the young lady of the Nalan family. He couldn't compare with her in both official position and status. Guo Xiaomei didn't know what Li Hongjun was thinking. She was still shouting hysterically, "Cousin, this woman beat me and that gigolo boy. Arrest them all." "Shut up." Li Hongjun slapped Guo Xiaomei's face again. At this time, he already knew that Guo Xiaomei, the stupid woman, had offended Nalan Wuxia. She was afraid that he would be involved. As long as Nalan Wuxia was unhappy, he might lose his position as the deputy captain in a few days. "Cousin, why did you slap me?" Guo Xiaomei was completely confused. She had just been beaten like a dog by Nalan Wuxia. She finally got her support, but she was slapped again. Li Hongjun shouted in annoyance, "Idiot, don't you know this is Captain Nalan of the crime squad? Apologize to me now." "Ah." Guo Xiaomei was confused. How could she apologize when she was beaten like this? Li Hongjun slapped her again and said, didn't you hear what I said? Apologize now. Guo Xiaomei realized that she had offended someone she couldn't afford to offend. She said with grievance, Miss Naylan, I'm sorry. Naylan Wuxia just watched quietly and said nothing. Li Hongjun understood that she was not satisfied, so he quickly said, and this gentleman. Guo Xiaomei looked at Qin Haodong with a complicated expression. She had planned to send this man to jail by pretending to molest him. She didn't expect things would turn out like this. She regretted it so much. She shouldn't have listened to Lin Pingchao. But it was too late to regret now. She could only lower her head and apologize again. Dr. Qin, I'm sorry. Qin Haodong said with a smile, it's okay. Be careful when you walk in the future. You should find the right person to blackmail. Seeing Guo Xiaomei apologized one by one, Naylan Wuxia said to Li Hongjun, is this your cousin? Yes, she's my cousin. Captain Naylan, I'm sorry for my poor discipline. Li Hongjun said with a smile. Your cousin has a bad mouth. Tell her to be careful. Li Hongjun said, got it, Captain. She won't do it again. All right, take her away. Naylan Wuxia waved her hand and said. Thank you, Captain. Li Hongjun said and left the infirmary with Guo Xiaomei. They hurried to the nearby hospital. After they left, Naylan Wuxia said to Qin Haodong, what happened? Who is this woman? A stupid woman with no brain. She's here to be cannon fodder. Cannon fodder? Is someone trying to kill you? Naylan Wuxia asked. That's none of your business. I'll deal with it myself. Qin Haodong said, let's go eat. How can we eat with your clothes like this? When Naylan Wuxia beat Guo Xiaomei, her white dress was inevitably stained with blood and stains. It looked very eye-catching now. What should we do? Qin Haodong asked. I'll go back and change my clothes, then I'll call you. Naylan Wuxia said and turned to leave the infirmary. Lin Pingchao paced back and forth in his office, fiddling with his cell phone. He was expecting Guo Xiaomei to call him after she was done. But after a long time, the phone didn't ring. The door behind him opened and Qin Haodong walked in. Lin Pingchao looked back and saw Qin Haodong. He was a little surprised at first and then said, why are you here? Qin Haodong closed the door and said, why can't I be here? Do you think you can kill me with a stupid woman? Lin Pingchao said, I don't know what you're talking about. Qin Haodong said, all right, don't pretend. We all know something. I don't believe you didn't find Guo Xiaomei. Chapter 159. As soon as he finished, he felt a sharp pain on his face. He was slapped by Qin Haodong and fell to the ground. After that, Qin Haodong squatted down and said with a smile, you're really stupid. I'm not a policeman. Why do I need evidence? I can beat you myself. What are you going to do? I tell you, this is Lin's group. Don't mess around. Looking at the smiling Qin Haodong, Lin Pingchao had a kind of fear from the bottom of his heart. He said and stepped back. What am I going to do? It seems that you don't understand. Qin Haodong raised his hand and slapped Lin Pingchao's face again. The crisp sound of slap resounded through the whole room. Boy, how dare you hit me again? Because he worked in the group, Lin Pingchao did not bring bodyguards. He shouted desperately to the door, security. Security. After he shouted, the door opened and two security guards of Lin's group rushed in immediately. Seeing the security guards, Lin Pingchao immediately became spirited. Qin Haodong shouted, he dared to hit me. Catch him quickly. The two security guards did not move, but turned to Qin Haodong and said, Mr. Qin, what can we do? Now the security guards of Lin's group were trained by Saber, and they absolutely obeyed Qin Haodong. Qin Haodong said, this guy always moves. It's not fun to hit him. Press him down for me. Yes. The two security guards answered and immediately rushed to grab Lin Pingqiao. They pressed his body and could not move anymore. What are you doing? Are you crazy? I'm a director of Lin's group. Let me go. Lin Pingqiao yelled crazily, but the two security guards ignored him and still held him down. Master Lin, it's useless even if you shout yourself hoarse. Just enjoy it. Qin Haodong said and moved his body. Then he began to punch and kick Lin Pingqiao with left uppercuts, left swings, and right swings. The method he used was very special. Every punch on Lin Pingqiao's body would bring a burst of pain, but it did not leave a trace. 5 minutes later, Lin Pingqiao was beaten to death, crying for his parents. Finally, Qin Haodong stopped. He patted his already numb cheek and said, "Recently, you have been making trouble for Momo again and again. It would have been fine if you had used the means of fair competition, but you always like to use this kind of dirty tricks. I'm just teaching you a lesson today. I won't let you off so easily in the future." Lin Pingqiao's eyes were burning with anger. He shouted crazily, "Qin Haodong, you're committing a crime. Wait and see, I'll have you arrested." Qin Haodong smiled and said, "Young Master Lin, didn't you just say that everything needs evidence? You need evidence to say that I hit you." After that, he said to the two security guards, "Did you see me hit someone?" The two security guards were very cooperative. They shook their heads in unison. "No, Mr. Qin has been happily chatting with Mr. Lin. Did you hear that? No one saw me hit you." Qin Haodong had enough of teasing Lin Pingqiao. He waved his hand to the two security guards and said, "Let's go." Seeing Qin Haodong left the room, Lin Pingqiao grabbed the cup on the table and smashed it on the ground, venting his anger. He was the young master of the Lin family, but he was beaten like a dog, without any chance to resist. "Bastard, do you think that's enough? I'll send you to prison." In his view, Qin Haodong had just beaten him so fiercely that there must be a lot of traces left. So he took out his mobile phone to take photos to fix the evidence, and then let the police arrest Qin Haodong. But when he took out his mobile phone, he was dumbfounded. There was no trace of being beaten on his face. He tore off his clothes, and his body was the same. His skin was as good as before, without any bruises. What happened? What the hell was going on? He really couldn't understand why there was no bruise on his face when he was beaten so hard just now. But soon a grim smile appeared on his face. "Do you think that's enough? There are surveillance cameras in my room." Lin Pingqiao was a very cautious person. He had installed several hidden cameras in his office in case of accidents. Today, they finally came in handy. He turned on the computer and wanted to retrieve the video just now. But soon he found that there were videos of other times, but the one where Qin Haodong hit him was missing. All the camera records were blank. Bastard! Bastard! He raised the computer and smashed it on the ground. At this moment, there was no other way but to roar. At this time in Daddy Security Company, Chi Weiner was watching the edited video with relish in a room. She murmured, "It's so satisfying. My hands are itching to watch it." Qin Haodong left Lin's group. When he saw Naylan Wuxia again, she had changed the white dress. She was wearing a tight black t-shirt and a pair of blue jeans. Such a set of ordinary clothes looked sexy on her curvy figure. After the last meal, Qin Haodong had a very good impression of the dreamy Jiangnan Hotel, so he came here directly with Naylan Wuxia. After entering the hotel lobby, they happened to meet Che Xiaoxiao. She secretly whispered in Qin Haodong's ear, "Handsome boy, did you fall in love with someone else, or did you come here to eat secretly behind Momo's back?" "If I wanted to eat secretly, why would I come here? We are just ordinary friends." Qin Haodong said and introduced Naylan Wuxia to Che Xiaoxiao. After the greeting, Che Xiaoxiao arranged Qin Haodong to VIP room number 2 again. After closing the door, Che Xiaoxiao took out her mobile phone and dialed Lin Momo's number. Guess who came here just now? You have so many guests, how can I guess? Lin Momo said lightly. It's your little lover who came here for dinner. Oh. Lin Momo just responded and did not say anything more. Don't you care at all? Aren't you curious about who he came with? Che Xiaoxiao said. It's just a meal. It doesn't matter who he goes with. So generous. Don't say I didn't tell you that your little lover came with a beautiful woman. Not only is she beautiful, but her breasts are not smaller than yours at all. Aren't you afraid that something will happen between them? Lin Momo said, don't worry about me. You'd better hurry up and find yourself a man. Che Xiaoxiao obviously did not want to let Lin Momo go. She asked again, are you really not jealous? Lin Momo said, why should I be jealous? I just want to know that he is really good to me. Your thinking is really avant-garde. Che Xiaoxiao said again, by the way, did the young master of the Shui family trouble you again? She still had some understanding of Shui Anbang's background. If he kept pestering Lin Momo, it would really be a little troublesome. Haodong has solved his problem. How did he solve it? Che Xiaoxiao asked in surprise. In her eyes, Qin Haodong was just an ordinary college student. She really couldn't figure out how he solved the problem of the young master of the Shui family. Lin Momo said, he rushed back to the capital after teaching him a lesson. I guess he won't come back to Jiangnan in a short time. That's amazing. I didn't know your little lover was so domineering. Che Xiaoxiao said so, but she was full of curiosity about Qin Haodong. He was the young master of the Shui family in the capital. How could he solve it so easily? In VIP room number 2, Naylan Wuxia admired the scenery outside the window and sighed, this place is good. Qin Haodong said, we have to find a better place to celebrate you becoming a captain. Naylan Wuxia said, in fact, it doesn't matter. Whether it's the captain or the deputy captain, in my eyes, basically there is not much difference. Being a police officer is just my personal hobby. What she said was true. If she really wanted to be an official, with the background of the Naylan family, she would have already been promoted. She would not be like now, step by step. Anyway, it's a good thing to be promoted. Qin Haodong clinked glasses with Naylan Wuxia and then drank it up. Naylan Wuxia's cheeks turned red after drinking a glass of wine. She looked at Qin Haodong and said, I helped you teach that shrew a lesson today. Shouldn't you thank me? Qin Haodong said, aren't we friends? I know you don't care about this. You don't care about others, but I care about you. You have to thank me. I said I would marry you, but you didn't agree. Qin Haodong laughed as he took out a small spirit culturing pill from his pocket and gave it to Naylan Wuxia. Since you have to thank me, this is for you. Naylan Wuxia took the spirit culturing pill and asked, what is this? Is it the one that my sister said you sold Maldini 10 million yuan for? That is called the physique improving pill. Ordinary people can take it, but it doesn't have much effect on warriors. This is called the small strengthening pill. If you take it, your cultivation will improve by at least 1 level. The physique improving pill is made from its leftovers. Naylan Wuxia's eyes lit up. As a warrior, she knew very well how precious the pills that could improve cultivation were. Perhaps even 100 physique improving pills couldn't be exchanged for such a spirit culturing pill. She put away the spirit culturing pill and said with a red face, you gave me such a precious pill. You don't have any ideas, do you? Qin Haodong was slightly surprised and asked, what ideas? Isn't this what you want me to thank you for? Is there nothing else but thanks? Naylan Wuxia's voice was getting lower and lower. She was no longer as fierce as when she beat Guo Xiaomei. Something else? What do you mean? Naylan Wuxia's cheeks were getting redder. She murmured, have you ever thought about who you want me to be? Unexpectedly, After hearing her words, Qin Haodong immediately said, "Are you going to be my sister-in-law? Let me tell you, don't misunderstand. Your sister and I are also friends. We are just partners. She helps me manage the security company, but there is absolutely nothing between us." Sister-in-law. Nalan Wuxia almost choked on her own saliva. He thought to himself, does this blockhead have a brain? Watching my cheeks swell. Nalan Wuxia blushed. Qin Haodong asked with concern, "What's wrong? Are you okay?" "Don't worry, let's drink." Nalan Wuxia grabbed the glass in front of her and drank it up, as if she wanted to extinguish the depression in her heart with the scarlet wine. In the next few days, everything went smoothly. Ma Wenjue and the new members of the Daddy Security Company had improved their cultivation very quickly. They only needed to wait for a few more days to completely consolidate their cultivation before they rushed to Shanghai. In the blink of an eye, it was Lin Xiaotian's 80th birthday. Qin Haodong and Lin Momo got ready early and rushed to the manor where the old man lived with the little fellow. Chapter 160. Qin Haodong said, "Don't worry. I've already prepared it. Grandpa will be satisfied when I take it out." Lin Momo said, "What on earth have you prepared? Can't you let me see it first? Why do you have to make it so mysterious?" Qin Haodong said with a smile, "There will be no surprise if I take it out first. This is my secret with Tang Tang. I can't tell you for the time being." The little fellow followed and said, "Yes, yes, this is my secret with Papa. We can't tell others. We have to give Grandpa a surprise." Lin Momo rolled her eyes at Qin Haodong and said, "Well, I'll let you two play with each other. Let's see what you can do." Because Lin Xiaotian was old and liked to be quiet, he built a manor on the outskirts of Jiangnan City and lived there all the time. Although Qin Haodong and Lin Momo came very early, there were already guests coming to the manor when they arrived. Lin Ziyuan and Lin Zhigao arrived one step earlier and greeted the guests together at the door. Lin Pingchao was also very well dressed today. He wore an expensive famous suit and followed Lin Zhigao, just like the image of the third generation of the Lin family. When he saw Qin Haodong and Lin Momo coming with the little fellow, there was a flash of resentment in his eyes, but soon he greeted them with a smile and said, "Sister Tang, you're here." Lin Momo said, "Am I late?" "No, you're not late. I'm busy here. Sister Tang, you can go inside and have a rest." According to Lin Pingchao's idea, he wanted to hide Lin Momo, so that he could leave a better impression in front of many guests. Today's guests were all distinguished guests, and many of them had great influence on Lin Xiaotian. As long as someone praised him, it would definitely increase his impression in the heart of the old man. Lin Momo also knew what he was thinking, but she didn't care and said, "I have to take care of Tang Tang." "Thank you." After that, she walked into the manor with Qin Haodong. In the hall of the villa, although the old man Lin Xiaotian was 80 years old, he was in good spirits. Today, he wore a red tang suit and sat in the middle to accept the greetings of the guests. The old master had been operating in Jiangnan City for many years and had a wide range of friends. Today, there were high-ranking officials and politicians, as well as elites from all walks of life. The more important ones were all seated in the hall, while most of them went to the auditorium on the side. "Great-grandfather, I've come to see you." After entering the door, the little fellow happily rushed to Lin Xiaotian. The old man was sitting steadily in the armchair, but when he saw the little fellow, he immediately beamed with joy. He quickly stood up and held her in his arms. "Tang Tang, why haven't you come to see me for so long? I miss you so much. I miss great-grandpa too." The little fellow put her arms around the old man's neck, kissed him on the cheek and said, "Great-grandpa, Papa and Mama are here too. Your father is here." Lin Xiaotian looked surprised. "Yes, Papa is here. He's over there." The little girl pointed to Qin Haodong. Lin Xiaotian glanced at Qin Haodong and then looked at Lin Momo with an inquiring look. Grandpa, this is my boyfriend, Qin Haodong, and also Tang Tang's godfather. Lin Momo didn't say much, but she introduced Qin Haodong's identity in an all-round way and also explained the old man's doubts. Qin Haodong stepped forward and said, "Hello, old man. My name is Qin Haodong, Momo's boyfriend." Oh. Lin Xiaotian nodded and began to look at Qin Haodong with keen eyes. After a moment, he nodded and said softly, "Good boy." When he spoke, his face was calm. No one knew whether he really appreciated Qin Haodong or he was just being polite. After greeting, Qin Haodong and Lin Momo sat next to each other, and the little fellow directly lay in the old man's arms. As time went by, more and more people came to celebrate the old man's birthday. Near noon, there was a commotion outside the door, and two middle-aged men walked into the hall hand in hand. Qin Haodong glanced at them and saw two old acquaintances. One was Qian Duo, the president of the Jiangnan Jade Association, and the other was Guofeng, the director of the Jiangnan Antique Appraisal Center and an antique appraisal expert. Although these two people were not government officials, they were definitely respected and authoritative figures in the antique and jade circles. Therefore, as soon as they showed up, they were immediately surrounded by a lot of people, following behind them. Lin Xiaotian had 3 hobbies in his life: jade, antiques and calligraphy. In addition, he had run Lin's group for many years, so he had a very good relationship with Qian Duo and Guofeng. They were old friends for many years. Seeing them enter the door, he quickly got up to greet them. After greeting the old man, Qian Duo and Guofeng were just about to sit down, but they saw Qin Haodong sitting next to them. Qian Duo strode to Qin Haodong and said with a surprised face, "Dr. Qin, you are here too." Guofeng also came up. After taking the Xuanda sensor back last time, he asked many experts to identify it again and finally confirmed that it was the real Xuanda sensor. Because of this, he admired Qin Haodong's ability to identify antiques. He also came to say hello to Qin Haodong respectfully. Both Qian Duo and Guofeng were experts in the industry. They were well-known figures and deserved to be called the god of wealth. Unexpectedly, such two super-powerful figures were so respectful to this young man, which immediately aroused the curiosity of the guests about Qin Haodong. Lin Xiaotian is also very clear about his two old friends. They are usually arrogant people, but now they value his new grandson-in-law so much, which makes him very curious. He looks at Qin Haodong with a deeper meaning in his eyes. After greeting, Qian Duo and Guofeng simply sat together around Qin Haodong and communicated with him about jade and antiques. Qin Haodong didn't know much about these two things. He relied entirely on spiritual qi to identify raw jade stones and antiques. Of course, this kind of thing couldn't be explained clearly, so he basically didn't talk much. It was Qian Duo and Guofeng who talked endlessly. But because of this, he gave these two people a more unfathomable feeling. Time passed quickly. At 11:30 noon, Lin Momo helped Lin Xiaotian to the birthday banquet hall. There were more than 20 tables in the auditorium, and there was a big, longevity character in the middle. As soon as Lin Xiaotian entered the auditorium, the applause immediately rang out. After the guests were seated, the host invited by the Lin family with a lot of money began a sensational performance. He introduced the life story of the old man with great emotion. Next, the younger generation of the Lin family congratulated the old man on his birthday and presented their gifts. There were no clear rules for this kind of birthday celebration, but generally speaking, it was from the outside to the inside, from the old to the young. The first to present birthday gifts were the distant relatives of the Lin family, and finally it was the turn of the two brothers, Lin Ziyuan and Lin Jigao. "Dad, I wish you a long life and good luck in everything." After Lin Ziyuan said that, he asked someone to give him the gift he had prepared. It was a very delicate evergreen. Although it was not expensive, it had a profound meaning. It was the most suitable for the birthday of the old man. Then it was Lin Zhigao's turn. After saying a few auspicious words, he sent a longevity plaque. According to reason, it should be Lin Momo's turn next, but Lin Pingchao came to Lin Xiaotian first and said, "Grandpa, I wish you a long life, happiness like the East Sea, and longevity like the South Mountain." After that, he waved to the bodyguard behind him, and the bodyguard sent a brocade box more than a foot high. This box was inlaid with gold and jade. It seemed that the packaging alone was valuable, which immediately attracted everyone's attention. They all wanted to see what was inside the box. Lin Pingchao seemed to arouse everyone's curiosity. He slowly opened the package of the brocade box, and then gently took out a jade Buddha statue about 20 centimeters high from it. The material of this jade Buddha statue was crystal white, delicate and moist and almost flawless. It looked like the fat meat of a fat sheep that had just been cut. The luster was like condensed oil. At first glance, it was a valuable thing. "My God, mutton fat jade, this is high-grade mutton fat jade. It's not strange for mutton fat jade, but such a big mutton fat jade Buddha statue is valuable. He deserves to be the young master of the Lin family. He is really attentive to the old man's birthday. How much is such a jade Buddha statue?" Hearing the discussion around him, Lin Pingchao's mouth showed a touch of pride. He held the jade Buddha statue in his hands and sent it to Lin Xiaotian. "Grandpa, it is said that jade can nourish people. If you put this jade Buddha statue in your bedroom, you will certainly live a long life." Lin Zhigao hurriedly followed and said, "Pingchao has long remembered the old man's birthday. This is the jade Buddha statue he bought at the auction for 12 million yuan, in order to celebrate the old man's birthday." Lin Xiaotian liked jade and antiques most in his life. After seeing this mutton fat jade Buddha statue, he immediately smiled and took it in his hand. After a while, he sighed and said, "Good thing. What a good thing. Pingchao is really thoughtful." After that, he turned to Qian Duo next to him and said, "President Qian, what do you think of this jade Buddha statue?" Qian Duo was a leading figure in the jade industry in Jiangnan. He was an expert in jade appraisal. He took the jade Buddha statue in his hand and looked at it for 4 or 5 minutes. Then he said, "It's really good. It's a high-grade mutton fat jade, and the carving is exquisite and lifelike. It's made by a famous master. If I look at it, the value of this jade Buddha statue should be between 20 million and 30 million yuan. Brother Lin can buy it for 12 million yuan. It's a big bargain." Lin Pingchao said, "It was a small private auction at that time. Other people stopped bidding when they offered this price. Otherwise, I would buy it for Grandpa's birthday, no matter how expensive it is." This guy was not only gloomy, but also good at flattering. He unconsciously expressed his filial piety. After playing with the jade Buddha statue, Qian Duo did not return it to Lin Xiaotian. Instead, he handed it to Qin Haodong next to him and said, "Mr. Qin, please help me look at it and see if I've just identified it correctly." After that, everyone's eyes were focused on Qin Haodong. They didn't understand why this young man could make Qian Duo so respectful. He was the president of the Jade Association. Could it be that this young man's ability to identify jade was better than his? Qin Haodong took the jade and looked at it from top to bottom. Lin Pingchao said proudly, "How about it? This jade Buddha of mine is passable, right?" His purpose today was to show off at the old man's birthday party and suppress Lin Momo, so he spent so much money. At the same time, he was very confident in this mutton fat jade Buddha statue. He believed that it would be able to please the old man. Chapter 161. Qin Haodong's move shocked everyone, and some even jumped up in shock. No one understood what the young man was going to do. How could he do such a rude thing at the old man's birthday party? Not to mention others, even Lin Momo, who was sitting next to him, was shocked. Although she knew that Qin Haodong didn't like Lin Pingchao, she didn't expect that he would be so reckless as to break his birthday gift. How could she explain it to her grandfather? Sure enough, Lin Xiaotian's face was still with a faint smile, but now it was gone, and he looked at Qin Haodong coldly. Qian Duo was also extremely embarrassed. He gave the jade Buddha to Qin Haodong, but he didn't expect it to be broken into pieces. He said, "Mr. Qin, what do you mean?" If Qin Haodong didn't hold it and broke it on the ground, it could be excusable, but it was obviously lifted up and smashed on the ground. There was no reason to explain it. Lin Pingchao just came to his senses. He jumped up and shouted to Qin Haodong, "Qin, you pay for my jade Buddha." Qin Haodong ignored him, nor did he answer Qian Duoduo's question. Instead, he said to Lin Xiaotian, "Old man, I broke this thing completely to save your life." As soon as this was said, everyone was shocked again. They didn't understand what Qin Haodong meant. He said to Lin Xiaotian, "If I'm not mistaken, the old man wants to put it in his bedroom because of his love for the jade Buddha." Lin Xiaotian still didn't speak, but nodded slightly, which was admitted. Qin Haodong continued, "If the old man puts this thing in the bedroom, you will never live for 3 days." At this time, Lin Pingchao was unhappy and said, "Qin, don't talk nonsense. You just saw me giving Grandpa a jade Buddha statue. You were jealous, so you deliberately smashed my things. Everyone in the world knows that mutton fat jade is used to nourish people. How could it hurt Grandpa's life?" Many of the guests present agreed with Lin Pingchao's statement in their hearts, otherwise they couldn't find an explanation for Qin Haodong's strange behavior. Qin Haodong glanced at him and said, "You're right. Good mutton fat jade can indeed nourish people, but this is not mutton fat jade, but mutton fat blood jade." Lin Pingchao cried, "Qin Haodong, you should find a better reason if you want to slander me. Everyone here is a jade expert. Who has ever heard of the bloody mutton fat jade? Aren't you talking nonsense?" At this moment, Qian Duo frowned slightly and hesitated before saying, "I've heard of blood sheep fat jade, but it's too rare. I've never seen it in all my years in the jade world." Lin Xiaotian asked doubtfully, "President Qian, what's the matter with this blood mutton fat jade?" Qian Duo said, "I've only heard my teacher mention it a few times before. He said that although the blood sheep fat jade looks very similar to the sheep fat jade, it will bring disaster to people. But he has passed away now, so I don't know the specifics." Qin Haodong said, "Your teacher is not very accurate. The blood sheep fat jade not only brings disaster to people, but also can absorb the owner's blood qi to improve its own quality. It's the legendary blood-nourishing jade. The more blood qi it absorbs, the better the jade looks. With the quality of this blood sheep fat jade, it has absorbed at least 6 or 7 people's blood qi. The reason why it is sold so cheaply is that its previous owners died one after another after their blood qi was absorbed, so it is regarded as an ominous thing." Lin Pingchao cried, "Nonsense, this is the blood sheep fat jade. How can it be the blood sheep fat jade?" Lin Zhigao followed and said, "That's right. I can't smash my son's jade Buddha statue based on a legend. According to your statement, all the sheep fat jade in the world should be smashed because of the blood sheep fat jade? It's a joke. Even President Qian didn't see any problem. Why do you say that this is the blood sheep fat jade? It's very simple. You can see it at a glance." Qin Haodong said, "Everyone knows that the purer the sheep fat jade is, the better the quality. There won't be too many impurities in the jade. The blood sheep fat jade looks no different from the sheep fat jade on the outside, but there are completely different bloodlines inside." After that, he bent down to pick up 2 pieces of the jade Buddha statue from the ground and showed them to Lin Xiaotian, Qian Duo and others. Lin Xiaotian was shocked when he saw that the 2 pieces of broken jade in Qin Haodong's hands were covered with dense bloodlines, just like human blood vessels, but there was no problem from the appearance. He started his business in jade, and he knew the character of sheep-fat jade very well. He knew that the real pure sheep-fat jade would never be like this. At this time, he had completely believed Qin Haodong's statement that this was the blood sheep-fat jade. Xian Duo bent down to pick up a piece of broken jade from the ground. After looking at it, he said, "It's exactly the same as what my master said. There are blood lines in the blood sheep-fat jade. This is the blood sheep-fat jade." Qin Haodong said, "The blood sheep-fat jade is really a harmful thing. Looking at the thickness of the blood lines, it should have killed many people." The blood sheep-fat jade and the sheep-fat jade were exactly the same in appearance. Only after smashing them would they find the difference. But this thing was worth millions or even tens of millions of yuan. Who would be willing to smash it? This was also one of the important reasons why the blood sheep-fat jade was extremely rare. Even if it appeared, no one could recognize it. If Qin Haodong had not had a strong spirit, he would not have recognized that it was the blood sheep-fat jade because he did not feel the spiritual qi from it. On the contrary, he felt a blood qi. Lin Pingqiao also saw the blood lines on the broken jade. His face suddenly became pale, but he still quibbled, "It's impossible. You must have done something. Otherwise, even President Qian didn't see the problem. How did you know that this is the blood sheep-fat jade? Are you better than President Qian?" This time, without waiting for Qin Haodong to speak, Xian Duo took the initiative to say, "You are right. Brother Qin's level of appreciation of jade is indeed far above mine." Guofeng, who had been silent all this time, said, "Mr. Qin really has a unique insight. Some time ago, he found the long-lost Xuanda sensor in an iron sensor. I can't wait to see his insight." Seeing the two big men stand up for Qin Haodong, Lin Pingqiao opened his mouth a few times, but he said nothing. The fact is there. The dazzling blood lines on the jade Buddha fragment prove to everyone that this is the blood sheep-fat jade. Qin Haodong is right. Lin Xiaotian's face became ugly. Today was his 80th birthday. If Qin Haodong had not discovered the secret of this blood sheep-fat jade, he would have died in 3 days. He asked, "Haodong, what should we do with these broken blood sheep-fat jade?" The old man's address to Qin Haodong at this time was much closer, with a trace of respect. At the same time, his words were equivalent to determining the nature of this jade Buddha, which was the blood sheep-fat jade. Qin Haodong said, "This kind of harmful thing must be smashed and buried deep, or it will harm others." Lin Xiaotian nodded, called 2 family members and said, "You go and get rid of these things. Remember to smash them into pieces and then bury them deep." The 2 family members nodded, collected all the jade pieces on the ground, and then turned to go out. Seeing that the gift he bought with a lot of money was smashed into pieces by Qin Haodong, Lin Pingqiao was so angry that he gnashed his teeth, but he knew that it was useless to deny it at this time, so he could only hurry up to remedy it. He quickly turned to Lin Xiaotian and said, "Grandpa, I really didn't know that this thing is blood sheep-fat jade. If I knew, I would not dare to buy it as a birthday gift for you." Although Lin Xiaotian was just shocked, he also knew that it was not Lin Pingqiao's intention. He waved his hand and said, "Forget it, I know you didn't mean it. Grandpa, I prepared 2 birthday gifts for you today. Although that thing was thrown away, I still have one." Lin Pingqiao secretly rejoiced that he was well prepared, or he would really lose face today. He turned back and waved to the bodyguard, who immediately sent a painting tube. For the 80th birthday of the old man today, Lin Pingqiao did make full preparation. Originally, he wanted to use the jade Buddha to get everyone's praise, and then make a climax with the painting in his hand. So the value of this painting was far higher than that of the jade Buddha. He bought it from a rich businessman in Hong Kong for 20 million. Of course, he didn't want to give the gift to the servant and put it away quietly. How could he show off in that way? So Lin Pingqiao directly asked someone to move a table, and then carefully took out an ancient painting from the painting tube and slowly spread it on the table. Grandpa, in order to congratulate you on your 80th birthday, this is the authentic work of Wu Daozi specially prepared by me. Please appreciate it. The guests present immediately became noisy again and began to talk about it. The authentic work of Wu Daozi. That is the art sage. This painting must be worth a lot of money, right? If it is really Wu Daozi, it is more than 1,300 years old. It is definitely a treasure in antiques. The old man Lin Xiaotian's 3 hobbies were jade, antiques and calligraphy and painting. The gift prepared by Lin Pingchao was completely to his liking. But the jade was smashed just now. Now the remaining birthday gift was a combination of antiques and calligraphy and painting. It was really a good thing. He stood up, came to the table and began to seriously appreciate the ancient painting on the table. After watching quietly for 2 minutes, the hall became silent. The old man's face began to look better and better. The unhappiness brought by the blood sheep fat jade had slowly dissipated. It's really good. This is the authentic work of Wu Daozi. The old man nodded with satisfaction and said. Xian Duo also came over and seriously appreciated the ancient painting. He also nodded and said, this is the legendary 100 lotus picture of Wu Daozi. After more than 1,000 years, it is still vivid. Only the art sage has this kind of skill. Lao Guo, look at this painting quickly. Is this painting made by Wu Daozi? Although Qian Duo also dabbled in antiques, his attainments were definitely not as good as Guofeng's, so he called him over. In terms of ancient paintings, the director of the Antique Appraisal Center was the authority. As an antique appraisal expert, Guofeng took his tools with him. First, he took out a pair of white gloves and put them on. Then he took out a magnifying glass and began to look at it carefully. This time, after watching for 5 minutes, he slowly raised his head and said excitedly, authentic, this is absolutely authentic. The authentic work of Wu Daozi, the art sage. In the upper right corner of this ancient painting, there were 3 big characters, 100 lotus picture, and Wu Daozi's personal seal was stamped below. There was no doubt that it was made by Wu Daozi in both the style and the age of the painting. Qian Duo was excited. He did not forget to turn back to Qin Haodong and said, Mr. Qin, look at this painting. In the middle of his words, he could not help but think of the jade Buddha that had just been smashed into pieces. He immediately stopped and did not dare to say anything. Chapter 162. Now the whole auditorium was in an uproar. No one understood what the young man was going to do. He had just smashed a jade Buddha statue, and now he tore the authentic work of Wu Daozi. How could he let people live? Qin, I'll kill you. At this time, Lin Pingchao's heart collapsed. The jade Buddha statue worth 12 million was smashed just now, because it was blood mutton fat jade. But now the authentic work of Wu Daozi, which was bought for 20 million yuan, was torn. How could he not feel distressed? The strong anger made him lose his mind for a short time. He was about to rush to Qin Haodong with his teeth and claws. Fortunately, he was stopped by Lin Zhigao and Lin Ziyuan. Lin Xiaotian's face darkened again. He also felt that Qin Haodong had done too much. The key was that this was the authentic work of Wu Daozi. He had been looking for it for many years, but he had not found it. Now his grandson sent it to him, but it was torn in half. Guofeng looked at Qin Haodong in surprise and asked, Dr. Qin, what do you mean? Is there something wrong with this painting? Qin Haodong said calmly, there is no big problem. It's just a fake painting. It's disrespectful to give it to the old man as a birthday gift today, so I tore it off. Fake painting? Impossible. I have identified it. It is indeed the lotus painting left by Wu Daozi himself. Guofeng said incredulously. Lin Pingchao calmed down a little, but he still shouted angrily, Qin Haodong, don't talk nonsense. This is definitely the authentic work of Wu Daozi. Today you must pay for my painting. Qin Haodong said disapprovingly, if I say it's fake, it's fake. Lin Pingchao cried, why? Are you more accurate than Director Guo's identification? Guo Feng also said, Mr. Qin, you are really too reckless. I have identified it. It is absolutely authentic. And even if it is a fake painting, it has reached the realm of being authentic. It is definitely worth more than 10 million yuan. After listening to Guo Feng, Lin Pingchao suddenly became more confident and said, that's right. I bought this painting for 20 million yuan. You must pay for it. Qian Duo saw that Qin Haodong was in trouble and said, Mr. Qin, you said that this painting is fake. Do you have any basis? There's no basis. As soon as he said this, the auditorium exploded again. Without any evidence, he casually took away an ancient painting worth 20 million yuan. Was this person crazy? Lin Pingchao's lungs were about to explode. Qin Haodong was obviously making fun of him. But before he could speak, Qin Haodong said lightly, because this is what I painted. Although Qin Haodong's tone was calm and his voice was not loud, almost every word he said today was like a bomb, causing another uproar in the auditorium. Who is this young man? There should be a limit to boasting. He actually said that Wu Daozi's authentic work was painted by him. Director Guo said that the painting is authentic. He actually said that he painted it. Does he think he is the art saint Wu Daozi? Arrogant, too arrogant. I heard that he is the new boyfriend of the first Mississippi Momo is too careless. You can't just look at a person's face. Not only did the others not believe it, even Guo Feng said in surprise, what? Mr. Qin, you said you painted this? Impossible. This is not only Wu Daozi's brush, but also obviously an ancient painting. You are only in your 20s. How could it be painted by you? Qin Haodong, there should be a limit to boasting. If this painting is painted by you, I will not only not need you to pay, but also give you 20 million yuan. The reason why Lin Pingchao said this was that he was mad by Qin Haodong, and he wanted to trample on Qin Haodong's face. Now attacking Qin Haodong was equivalent to attacking Lin Momo. Qin Haodong said, you don't believe it, right? Then I'll prove it to you now. He turned to Lin Xiaotian and said, old man, can I make a painting on the spot? It can be regarded as a birthday celebration for you. Lin Pingchao said, are you kidding? It will take a master a day or two to finish such a painting. Can Grandpa's birthday be delayed? Qin Haodong said, it's not so troublesome. It's only 5 or 8% to paint such a painting. What? How is this possible? Although Guo Feng and Qian Duo knew that Qin Haodong was a master, they were also surprised and opened their mouths wide. They couldn't believe what he said was true. It would take 2 or 3 hours for a painting master to paint. Lin Xiaotian looked at Qin Haodong with interest. He waved to his family next to him and said, bring me the pen and ink in my study. He liked painting and calligraphy, and he often painted one in his daily life. So he had all the tools for painting at home. Soon his family brought the paper, pen, ink and other tools used for painting and put them on the table. Under everyone's gaze, Qin Haodong came to the table. He first took out a brush from the pen holder, looked at it, and nodded with satisfaction. Then he took out another brush and pinched it in the palm of his left hand. The two brushes were covered with ink at the same time. What is he going to do? Is he going to paint with 2 brushes? Lin Pingchao said directly with disdain, you are a fool. You can't paint well with 1 brush. How can you take 2? Isn't it shameful enough? Qin Haodong didn't pay attention to him at all. After taking a deep breath, he stretched out both of his hands. The 2 brushes seemed to be alive and kept flying on the drawing paper in front of him. The originally empty white paper began to slowly have ink marks. Is this the left-right dragon? Although Lin Xiaotian was not as good as a master in painting and calligraphy, he also had considerable attainments. He immediately recognized Qin Haodong's technique. Qian Duo couldn't help asking, "Mr. Lin, what is the left-right dragon?" Lin Xiaotian said, "Ordinary people paint with a brush. First, they outline the general shape, and then fill in the picture carefully. It's the same as building a house. First, they build the framework, and then they do it bit by bit. But there are also defects in this way. Although the foundation is solid, it's not fast enough." Guo Feng also dabbled in painting. He nodded and said, "It's true." Lin Xiaotian continued, "In order to increase the speed of painting, some powerful masters of painting and calligraphy created this way of painting with the left-right dragon. As the name implies, the left-right dragon is to divide one's attention, draw with both hands at the same time, starting from the two ends of the paper. There is no need to conceive a frame, no need for any embellishment and polishing. The whole painting completely exists in the painter's heart, constantly advancing to the middle. When the two strokes touch, the painting is finished. In this way, the efficiency of painting can be more than doubled, but it is extremely difficult. First of all, the whole painting should be clear in mind. Secondly, the mind should be divided into two. There can be no problems. Finally, the color and tone should be used very skillfully, so that there can be no mistakes when the two sides of the picture are connected. This is a very clever way of painting. I have only heard of it before, but I have never seen such a master." Speaking of this, Lin Xiaotian shook his head with an incredible face. Guo Feng said, "I have heard of the left-right dragon, but this painting method requires absolute confidence in the painting, and it can't be done without decades of painting and calligraphy skills." Lin Pingchao was confused. He knew nothing about the way of painting. He didn't expect that Qin Haodong, who he had just laughed at, used such a powerful way of painting. He couldn't help blushing. However, he still didn't believe that Qin Haodong could draw Wu Daozi's painting. If anyone could imitate it casually, the art sage would not be the art sage. Guo Feng said again, "The left-right dragon is really powerful, but the painting on both sides is too good. If it can't be perfectly connected, it's nonsense. It's the same as building a house. Both sides use superb skills. No matter how strong you build it, it's a waste if it can't be connected in the end." After the explanation of the two masters, everyone's attention was focused on Qin Haodong, looking forward to the moment when he was finally connected. Qin Haodong's technique was extremely fast. His two hands kept moving on the drawing paper as if he didn't have to think. After 3 or 4 minutes, the painting on both sides was almost finished, and the two brushes began to connect. The eyes of the people around were fixed on Qin Haodong's two hands, especially Lin Pingchao, who couldn't wait to put his two eyeballs on the drawing paper, hoping that Qin Haodong would make mistakes. But in the end, he was disappointed. Qin Haodong's two brushes were skillfully joined together, and a lotus picture was perfectly presented in front of everyone. And just at the moment when he threw out the brush, 5 minutes had passed. Amazing, it's really amazing. He painted a lotus picture in such a short time. Who is this young man? He turned out to be a master of painting. Was that painting really painted by him? Impossible, it's impossible. No matter how good it is, it's a new painting. How can it become an ancient painting? In everyone's discussion, Guo Feng and Qian Duo took the torn lotus picture and carefully compared it with the one Qin Haodong had just drawn. After a full 5 minutes, the two of them raised their heads again. "Perfect, it's really perfect." Qian Duo said to Qin Haodong, "Brother Qin, the person I admire most in my life is you. I really don't know what you can't do. You painted a lotus picture in such a short time, and it's exactly the same as the original one. I can't see any difference." Guo Feng also said, "Indeed, it's so perfect that there's no flaw." Lin Pingchao cried, "Even if it's a good painting, it's not an ancient painting. The one I just drew is the authentic work of Wu Daozi. The two paintings can't be compared at all. Guofeng sighed and said, yes, Mr. Qin, although I admire your painting skills, it can't prove that the painting was drawn by you. Not to mention anything else, you can see that the two pieces of paper are at least thousands of years apart, and the color of the ink, the newly painted painting is completely different from the ancient painting. Qin Haodong smiled and said, don't worry, there's still the last procedure. In order to cultivate his mind and play life in the cultivation world, he had been a painter, a fortune teller, and even a beggar, so he was very proficient in these 3 ways and 9 streams of magic. Moreover, the way he made ancient paintings was not comparable to ordinary people at all. Emperor Green Wood could control all things of the wood attribute. Qin Haodong rolled up the painting he had just drawn and held it in his hand. He stroked it from top to bottom with his right hand. The greenwood genuine qi in his palm changed the color of the painting paper and the color of the ink in an instant. 10 seconds later, like a magic trick, he spread the painting on the table again and said to Guofeng, Director Guo, look at it again this time. Guofeng stood there in a daze. The lotus picture in front of him was exactly the same as the one he had just torn off. From the age of the painting paper to the color of the ink, there was no difference at all. If it weren't for the lotus picture that had just been torn off, he would have thought it was a dream. Chapter 163. When Guofeng raised his head again, Lin Pingchao said eagerly, Director Guo, please tell everyone that this painting is fake. Guofeng said with a wry smile, I can't help you. I really can't see the difference between these two paintings at my level. If I hadn't seen Mr. Qin draw this painting with my own eyes, would have identified it as the authentic work of Wu Daozi. Restless. The whole audience was restless. Everyone could no longer remain calm. Who was this young man? Even Guofeng, who was an antique appraisal expert, was unable to determine whether it was real or fake. This ability was simply heaven-defying. At the same time, it also proved to everyone that Lin Pingchao's painting was not the authentic work of Wu Daozi, but Qin Haodong's painting. Qin Haodong picked up his new painting of lotus and said to Lin Xiaotian, Mr. Lin, if you don't mind this painting, I'll give it to you as a birthday gift. Lin Xiaotian said with a smile, then I'll accept it. Although this painting is not made by Wu Daozi, it is of great significance to me. Young man, you are young and promising, and your future is limitless. Indeed, although this painting was painted by Qin Haodong in less than 5 minutes, if it was taken to the auction, it could definitely be sold for more than 10 million yuan. However, the old man did not want to sell it. He had just been impressed by Qin Haodong's unique skill and wanted to keep this painting as a souvenir. Lin Pingchao was gnashing his teeth. What was going on? He had carefully prepared 2 birthday gifts. The jade Buddha statue was smashed by Qin Haodong as soon as he took it out. Now the ancient painting that he bought with 20 million yuan was torn in half and became a gift in the blink of an eye. It was such a bully. He said to Qin Haodong angrily, even if this painting is fake, you have to prepare it yourself if you want to give Grandpa a birthday gift. Don't use my things. Qin Haodong said with a smile, everyone is watching here. It's obvious that I just painted it. How did it become your thing? That's not good. You just tore my painting. Whether it's real or fake, this one is my compensation. Lin Pingchao turned to Lin Momo and said, Sister Tang, it's Grandpa's 80th birthday today. Don't tell me you didn't prepare a birthday gift. The 2 gifts he had prepared were ruined. He hoped that Lin Momo could not come up with anything decent, so that he would look better. Lin Momo stepped forward and said, Today is Grandpa's birthday. As his granddaughter, of course, I have prepared a gift. After that, she looked at Qin Haodong and said, Where are the gifts we prepared for Grandpa? Hurry up and take them out. At this time, everyone's eyes were focused on Qin Haodong. They were very curious about what good things this young man could prepare for the old man, who had ruined 2 gifts from Lin Pingchao. Even Lin Xiaotian himself looked at Qin Haodong with burning eyes. The boyfriend found by his granddaughter really brought him too many surprises and shocks today. He wanted to see if he could have a shocking performance next. The gift has already been prepared. After that, Qin Haodong waved to the little fellow sitting next to him and said, "Tang Tang, bring up the gift for great-grandpa." "Coming, Papa." The little fellow was looking forward to this moment. After hearing Qin Haodong's call, she immediately ran to Lin Xiaotian with a big mahogany tray in her arms. The tray was covered with a big red cloth, and no one knew what was under it. "Great-grandpa, the gift is here." The little fellow cried as she ran, "This is the gift that Papa, Mama, and I prepared for her grandpa." Her cute and innocent look caused the guests present to burst into laughter. At the same time, everyone was curious about what was under the red cloth. Lin Momo was also very curious about what gifts Qin Haodong and his daughter had prepared. She followed the little fellow to Lin Xiaotian, and then uncovered the red cloth on the tray. She suddenly froze there with a look of astonishment. "Great-grandpa, Tang Tang wishes you a long life." After that, the little fellow raised the tray with her 2 chubby little hands and sent it to Lin Xiaotian. Now everyone saw what was in the tray. After a slight shock, the audience burst into laughter. They saw a golden roast chicken in the mahogany tray. "What's going on? It's the first time I've seen a roast chicken as a birthday gift. What's this young man doing? The gift wasn't given by that young man alone. Didn't you hear it just now? It's on behalf of the young lady of the Lin family. It's so embarrassing. A dignified CEO only prepared a roasted chicken as a birthday gift." Lin Pingchao's reaction was the most exaggerated. He laughed and said to Lin Momo, "Cousin, it's Grandpa's 80th birthday. You just gave him such a roast chicken. It's really funny. Can you be more stingy?" He finally caught a chance to turn over. He didn't want to let it go. He turned to Qin Haodong and said, "Boy, is your family doing cooked food? It's the first time I've seen a roast chicken as a gift in my 20s. Qin Haodong looked at him coldly and spat out 3 words, "You're blind." "Boy, who are you talking about?" Lin Pingchao cried with confidence, "Am I wrong? Everyone has seen it. If it's not a roast chicken, what is it?" Qin Haodong shook his head and said, "Anyway, your family is also a jewelry family. Grandpa Lin has been in the jewelry business all his life. I didn't expect that he would have such a blind grandson like you." Hearing this, everyone's attention was once again focused on the tray in the little fellow's hand. Could it be that there was something special in this roast chicken? At this time, Qian Duo and Grandpa Lin's faces changed. They looked at the roast chicken on the tray with a dignified expression. But Lin Pingchao didn't see anything unusual. He continued to cry, "Boy, don't play tricks. Do you think I haven't seen roast chicken? Stop it." Grandpa Lin glared at Lin Pingchao with dissatisfaction. Then he held the roast chicken in his hand with a hot face and murmured, "Wonderful, it's really wonderful. It's simply wonderful." Grandpa, Lin Pingchao was a little dumbfounded. His grandpa had eaten all kinds of delicacies. How could he be so obsessed with a roast chicken? Qian Duo looked at the roast chicken excitedly and said, "Grandpa, can I have a look at it?" "Of course." After Lin Xiaotian finished speaking, he reluctantly sent the roast chicken in his hand to Qian Duo. Qian Duo took it and looked at it over and over again. He looked at it as if he was appreciating a rare treasure. Many people under the stage were full of curiosity. What was wrong with these 2 people? Hadn't they eaten roast chicken? After admiring it for 2 minutes, Qian Duo said with admiration, "I have seen a lot of treasures for so many years, but I have never seen such a large piece of yellow jade, and the quality is so high. There are no impurities at all. In addition, the carving is amazing. At first glance, I can tell that it is made by a great master. A rare treasure coupled with a great master's work is absolutely a rare treasure, a rare treasure. After that, he carefully put the roast chicken back on the tray in front of Lin Xiaotian and said, "Grandpa Lin, you are so lucky to find such a good grandson-in-law." Yellow jade? Only then did Lin Momo realize that this roast chicken turned out to be carved from that piece of yellow jade. But this carving technique, this creativity, was simply too beyond everyone's imagination. No wonder everyone thought that this was just a roasted chicken. Only Qian Duo and Old Master Lin, who had dealt with jade for their entire lives, could barely recognize it. At this time, Qin Haodong took Lin Momo's hand and came to Lin Xiaotian and said, "Mr. Lin, yellow represents wealth. Yellow jadeite is called golden jadeite in our industry, and chicken means great luck. This jade chicken made of yellow jadeite is a gift prepared by me and Momo for your 80th birthday. I wish you good health and eternal wealth." At this time, the guests under the stage realized that this was not a real roast chicken, but a roast chicken made of precious yellow jade. Many of Grandpa Lin's relatives and friends were related to the jade industry. Naturally, they knew the value of yellow jade. With such a precious yellow jade and such a good idea, no wonder Qian Duo repeatedly marveled at this rare treasure. This was definitely the most precious birthday gift. Oh my God, how much does such a big piece of yellow jade cost? I've been in the jade business for so many years, but I've never seen such a big piece of yellow jade. It's estimated that it will cost hundreds of millions. My God, who is this young man? How can he be so generous? It's really a great honor for Grandpa Lin. Lin Pingchao was completely dumbfounded. Just now he was jumping and laughing at Qin Haodong. He didn't expect that in the end, he didn't see that this roast chicken was carved with yellow jade. As the third generation of a jewelry family, it was really shameful. At this time, Old Master Lin was already beaming with joy. He said to Qin Haodong and Lin Momo, "This is the best gift I have ever received. You two are very thoughtful." There was another uproar under the stage. Grandpa Lin's words meant that he approved the marriage between Qin Haodong and Lin Momo. Guofeng stared at the roast chicken for a long time, and then said to Qian Duo, "Brother, how much is this roast chicken worth? It's so cute. I want to have one if I have a chance." Qian Duo said with a wry smile, "Brother, you really think too much. It's a blessing for us to have a look at such a rare treasure. How can we afford it?" "What, you can't afford it?" Guofeng showed a surprised look. As an expert in the antique industry, he was extremely rich, at least hundreds of millions of assets, so when he bought Qin Haodong's Xuanda censer, he did not hesitate to take out 30 million yuan. Unexpectedly, at this time, Qian Duo said that he could not afford this roast chicken. People under the stage were also curious. They had been guessing how much this roast chicken was worth, so they all looked at Qian Duo, expecting him to give an answer. Qian Duo carefully held the jadeite roast chicken in his hand again, and then said, "Not to mention anything else, the material of this jadeite roast chicken is definitely the best among the yellow jadeites. It has a bright color, is as smooth as grease, and has no flaws. The value of the raw materials alone should be between 200 million and 300 million yuan. Now with such good creativity and knife skills, this jade collection will cost at least 400 million yuan. Brother, can you afford it?" This, Guofeng suddenly became embarrassed. If he sold all his assets, he might have 400 million yuan, but in terms of liquidity, he didn't even have 100 million yuan. The others were excited again. A birthday gift worth 400 million yuan, this was really a big deal. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.